Good evening to you from Paytech Park tonight. The Rochester Rhinos are getting ready to take on the Atlanta Silverbacks. We certainly welcome you to our pregame festivities here at Paytech Park. I'm Don Stevens, and alongside Soccer Sam, and who knows where the heck Joe Giuliano is. Where's he? Outer Bora Bora or someplace, isn't he, as usual?
He's putting some makeup on or something, Don, but I'm honored to be with the legend, baby. 12 years plus in soccer and 50 plus years in hockey. You are the living legend.
Now what do I do? How do I follow that?
I don't know, but Johnny, honestly, man, I listened to the game the other night. I tape all the games so I can listen. I visualize. You are in a league of your own, man. Our fans are so lucky to have you.
That's only because you're taping it on Scotch tape and you really can't hear what goes on, right?
Well, tonight, the Rhinos, the Atlanta Silverbacks. I mean, the Rhinos need this, baby. Vancouver's right there, Donnie, 1 point away, first place. We got to kill these guys tonight.
Well, certainly the Rhinos coming in will look to move to the back of the top of the table. And the games in hand that the other teams have seem to be catching up a little bit to sort of level things out. That's been kind of maybe something in the background that you got to worry about. All of the games that the Rhinos played very early, the games in hand were catching up finally as the other teams are starting to play some games, or finally as maybe the Rhinos are not playing as many games. I tell you, it was a tough start to the season, Sammy.
I mean, you were traveling all over the place and on the road. Now we're at home, kind of relaxation here a little bit. Was this our fourth out of six home games? But Tuesday night, these guys got to be dead here, Don. That was an amazing game. It was 90-plus degrees and humid. I saw a fly with a headband on. I'm not kidding you.
And wristbands, too, I suppose. Well, it was one of those tough nights. I mean, you watched the game out there, the U.S. Open Cup game here on Tuesday night, and wondering, is this team going to have enough left for Friday night's game? That certainly had to be, I think, a concern for the coaches, at least.
Well, definitely. And you know, you fans out there, it's an amazing night tonight. I don't know if everybody knows this, but in the city of Rochester, they've canceled all events due to the Rhino game. So come on out here, 454 kick, or just come to the box office. It's open. There's a band here. There's mascots everywhere. And Don, tonight, this is Don Stevens' night. This is your 500th Rhino game. You know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Well, I just figured, I don't know, since around there, 300 to 500, somewhere in that range. But this is your night, so I want all our fans to come out here and see it, and what a night it is. And all you guys that are playing adult soccer, you're on your way to the game tonight. This game starts at 8:05, so you can still make the second half. So go home, pick up the kids after the game, come on out here, and we'll get you into the stadium. You can enjoy this great event.
All right, should be a good one as the Rhinos take on the Atlanta Silverbacks. We're in our pregame festive mode. As Sam said, there's a band down here to the south end of the stadium, and the fans are starting to come in and getting set for tonight's matchup between the Rhinos and the Silverbacks. Stick with us. We've got a lot more to come your way in our pregame show. Again, this is the Perry's Ice Cream pregame show here at Paytech Park, the Rhinos and the Silverbacks, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Back at Paytech Park with the Perry's Ice Cream pregame show. Again, Soccer Sam, and I'm Don Stevens. Glad to have you folks with us tonight. Our game just a little ways away. We'll be getting underway. It's actually an 8:05 kickoff tonight. Plenty of time to come on down, and there's going to be plenty of tickets available. No problem with that, so you don't have to worry about it. Come on down, get your tickets, come on in, and watch the Rhinos take on the Atlanta Silverbacks, and the possibility of the Rhinos moving back to first place.
Definitely, Dan. You know, there's a lot of Rhino rejects, or a few Rhino rejects on this team. David Hayes is coming back, and Corey Woolfolk. A lot of fans. I love when the Stampede start yelling Rhino reject. So those are two guys. But there's also a local guy, Scott Butte, number 2 for the Atlanta, that was from Rochester, or his family's from Rochester, and Daniel Antoniak played for Montreal last year. Right. Ended up going to Atlanta, and Matt Bobo, we remember from way back when with Pittsburgh. So there's a lot of familiar faces and names on this Atlanta team. So I'm hoping the fans come out and see these guys.
How do you forget that name, Bobo?
Bobo Brazil.
You Bobo. All right, so Corey Woolfolk is in his, if he plays tonight, it'll be his second appearance with the team. He's a substitute coming in tonight, but I saw him 2 weeks ago when we were down in Carolina. He was there. He'd been training with the Railhawks, and I guess they just decided not to sign him.
You know, he's one of those guys that doesn't look skillful, but he finds a way to score goals. When he played for us, wherever he goes, when he was in Puerto Rico a couple years back, he scores goals no matter where he goes. He's one of those guys, he sniffs the goal, but one-on-one, I think in a tryout or practice, he probably doesn't stand out because he doesn't have a lot of individual skills, but he knows how to score.
Corey Woolfolk is one of those listed. Again, David Hayes, I think, has played every minute so far this season. He's become institutionalized, I guess, in Atlanta. I don't know if there's probably a better way to put that.
They love him there, Dan.
He's part of the institution in Atlanta soccer. How's that? Is that better?
That's cool, man. And last night, I got to watch some USL Live games. The Portland Timbers beat the California, no victory, 1-0. And Seattle Sounders with Greg House, who come into town Tuesday night, they beat Miami 1-0 last night. And Don, this is a big weekend for this league. You know that, Donnie.
Yeah, there was no upsets in the games last night. Quick check of the schedule, then we'll run through what's going on tonight. But right now, Vancouver is on top with 25 points, and Rochester Rhinos are next with 24. Then Seattle third with 22, Montreal fourth with 20, and then the bottom half, if you will, of the playoff teams, the ones that are in playoff contention at the moment. Portland and Charleston are tied with 18, and you have Carolina in 7th with 17, and Puerto Rico 8th with 15. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's right. And then the players at the moment, the teams that at the moment are out of the playoff running, Miami only 1 point back at 14, then Atlanta with 13, Minnesota with 11, and California with 8. And certainly California's not even out of a playoff spot at this point. I mean, it's still anybody's game at this point.
Definitely. And tonight, the other games, Puerto Rico and Montreal, which is big to keep up with. Saturday night, tomorrow night, Vancouver's at Charleston, Miami at Portland, and Sunday it's California and Montreal. So Montreal's playing two kind of almost back-to-back games, one day apart. But next week, Tuesday's the big day. It's Seattle, Rochester right here at Paytech Park, 7:35, 4:54 kick, and Vancouver is at Carolina. So, baby, this is big this week coming. And then Wednesday, Charleston's at Atlanta and Miami's at California. But I just can't wait. This weekend, it could change everything, man. If Vancouver loses tomorrow and Montreal loses tonight and Sunday, baby, we're going all the way here. These guys are never going to catch up to us.
Wait a minute. I got so fast. I'm trying to take notes here.
Oh, sorry.
If this and if that. And
my medicine. I didn't take it. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Of course, it's the July 4th holiday this week, so there's a lot of midweek games coming up this week.
Yeah, the third is big. But, Don, I'm so excited. We got a big week coming up. Tuesday night, Seattle comes down, Greg House and company. Then Friday night, in my opinion, the biggest game in this franchise history. The first time ever that the Carolina Railhawks come to Paytech Park with Chris Economides as the GM/president, Scotty Schweitzer as the coach, few 3-4 ex-Rhinos, a lot of guys that have played before for Lori Calloway. So all you coaches out there, if you're coaching on a Friday night, especially if you're doing house league, get these kids to the game and teach them this game. And there's no better way than see live action.
Rhinos against ex-Rhinos next Friday night.
That's right. It's the ex-Rhino night.
It should be a lot of fun. They played once this season. Nothing's been decided between the two teams at this point, so that's next Friday night. All right, we'll continue with the pregame show brought to you by Perry's Ice Cream here at Paytech Park. It is the Rhinos taking on the Atlanta Silverbacks. Again, reminder, still plenty of time to get here because his kickoff is at 8:05. 8:05 kickoff, so come on down to Paytech Park and join in on all the festivities. This is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Back with the pregame show here at Paytech Park tonight. What a gorgeous evening, Sammy. I'm Don Stevens, Soccer Sam alongside. Just a beautiful evening.
I went through a gallon of sunscreen.
Well, it's good we're sitting in the shade here then, right?
That's right, it helps. I get the double. I got 32 raised
gallons.
Yeah.
Gallons.
Yeah, I spray it on. I go to a car lot.
Oh, car wash it. Yeah, okay. You and I could run through. Never mind. We'll keep it right there. All right. Well, we're going to talk about tonight. The Rhinos taking on Atlanta, and it's not the first time they've seen this Atlanta Silverbacks team. They've seen them over the years. Last season, the Rhinos had 2 wins, no losses against Atlanta, a win here and a win in Atlanta. The win here on August the 5th was 1-0 score, and the win in Atlanta on September the 2nd was a 2-1 score. The year before, if I'm not mistaken, also a 2-0 record, 1 win here, 1 win in Atlanta, so at least the last couple of years, the Rhinos are 4-0 against the Atlanta Silverbacks. I didn't track back further than that. But overall, in the lifetime record, the Rhinos with a 15-2-1 record against Atlanta. 15-2-1 includes 9 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie here in Rochester, and a 6-1-0 record in Atlanta. So needless to say, the Rhinos have really kind of had Atlanta's number over the years.
Definitely, Don. And tonight, Atlanta's coming in here. The last 6 games, 0 wins, 4 losses, and 2 ties. This team's in trouble.
Well, the Rhinos on the other side have been unbeaten in the last 7 with 4 wins and 3 ties, but well, how often does that come back to bite you in the rear end, you know?
Well, we, like you said earlier, Dan, let's hope that these guys have the energy after that tough game on Tuesday night.
Maybe the good part of it is Atlanta, I think, also had a tough game. They came through with a victory in their game, but it was a 1-0 game, and was it Charlotte? Or
the Charlotte Eagles with the local Rochesterian Aaron Farrell playing for them, but they ended up winning Atlanta. So Atlanta moves on to play FC Dallas on July 10th, and we move on and play the New England Revolution. Oh, Burby, I can't wait for that game on July 10th.
All right, we're going to be talking more about that. The roster is a little bit different here for the Rhinos tonight because of the league. Their nasty word, suspensions. A couple of players are out of the lineup. This will be the first regular season game this year that the Rhinos have not had Kenny Burt's on the pitch.
He leads the league, one of the leaders in the league with minutes. He's out, Don. The broken nose is one reason. I mean, I did that once. I told you about that. What? I was picking my nose to hit a pothole. It was just awful. But Kenny Burt's got popped in the nose, broken nose, so he's out because of that. But the real reason is yellow cards.
Yeah. He and Stephen Shirley Black both have yellow card accumulations, and I was talking with Coach Calloway this morning. He says it's a little bit different now that they used to do each foul at a certain number of points. And when you gained the points, you were then suspended for a game. But I think it's strictly 5 yellow cards, and you sit out a game. Then you come back, and as soon as you get your next 5, then you're out 2 games. You come back, you get another 5, you're out 3 games. So they do have to be somewhat careful on those cautions.
I mean, Kenny's a tough player. He's got to be tough there. But, some injuries for the Rhinos right now. Obviously, Scott Dell is still out of the nets. They're talking about maybe August 1st. In that range, he'll be ready. And Nate Kraft, we saw him the other night. We were talking about it with his knee brace on and everything.
Yep.
He's immobile. He cannot move. He refuses to move that leg, and it's healing by itself. And the other end, the wild man himself, Ryan Wildman.
Now, I was talking to him a little bit ago, and he says that he's supposed to receive clearance to start running maybe Monday.
That'd be great. I mean, he's a promising young man. I think him, P.J. Shifley, and Kevin Burns, to me, are like the future Rhinos. I think those guys, the way they play on the field, their personalities and their looks, could be the future stars of this franchise.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens as far as the Rhinos' defense is concerned, especially tonight with Kenny Burt's out. Jason Perry is going to step into that spot. Now, Novak has been injured a fair amount lately, but he'll step in on the outside. Palguda and Bonsu will be there also in the back end. So still you still have Aloisi and still some depth there.
Definitely have the depth there. And Jason Perry, Dan, in my opinion, is one of the best players in this league if he can stay healthy. You saw him come
key right there.
Yeah. Injury prone, unfortunately. He's got a problem with his ankles. But the last game, he was intended to come in around the 30th minute mark, but he had to come in a little sooner because of the injury to Burt's. But I think Jason Perry with T-Bone in the middle, that's a solid team. I'm not worried about the defense.
Well, Perry, I think he's an outstanding player. It's just very seldom do you get a 90-minute a game out of him, unfortunately.
Well, with Coach Calloway on him tonight, I think you're going to see this man play. And this is his chance to prove to Coach Calloway that he's ready.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Of course, the midfield, Shirley Black is out with the suspension also, but there seems to be a plethora of midfielders available to the squad here tonight. We'll see if maybe Mike Ambersley might be ready to return. He is listed as a substitute possibility, so he is available evidently. Not sure how healthy he would be at this point. We're in the pregame mode, our Perry's Ice Cream pregame show here at Paytech Park. Again, kickoff not till 8:05, so still time to get out here. The fans are coming in. The band is still playing. Come on out and join us for the pregame. This is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Paytech Park on a gorgeous evening tonight. I'm Don Stevens, and alongside Soccer Sam for the pregame show and our Free Time Magazine portion of the show. Let's see, one player of note that's been doing very well lately had a goal again last game. So Amad Diallo, a 3-game goal-scoring string coming into tonight. As 3 goals, 6 assists in the last 3 games. Matthew Delicott had his 3-game goal-scoring string stopped last game, but there's a couple of players right there that have been pretty hot of late.
I'll tell you, 5 goals in the last 7 games for Matthew Delcott. He's 3rd in the league. The guy he scored 2 goals in Open Cup, and Johnny Younger and Aaron Lyons, those guys to me are just in a different zone right now.
Lyons in the Open Cup game the other night, it looked like he was not even going to be able to walk when that game was over. He did come back and he scored the game-winning goal in overtime, so we'll see how he looks tonight.
Don, that was amazing. There was no more substitutes. You can only have 4 in Open Cup. Dave DePasquale, the trainer of the Rhinos, he sprayed something special on his leg. Whatever it is, we got to get it. I mean, all of a sudden, the guy just was on fire. He couldn't walk. They had the stretcher ready. The ambulance had the lights on. Next thing you know, the guy scores a goal. Amazing.
Well, he's certainly been playing well, and he certainly has picked it up of late. We'll continue with the rest of our pregame festivities in a moment. We'll be talking with the coach coming up in just a couple of moments. Sam will be back. He's going to come back to join me at halftime for a few minutes.
I'd love to,
I want to talk about a little bit about that Open Cup game against New England. If you come back at halftime, we'll talk about that.
Let's do that. Thank you.
All right, so Sam will be at halftime, and we'll talk to Coach Calloway coming up next. Again, the Perry's Ice Cream pregame show here at Paytech Park tonight. The Rhinos getting ready to take on the Atlanta Silverbacks, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Welcome back once again to Paytech Park tonight. The Rhinos taking on the Atlanta Silverbacks, and the Rhinos in their 16th match of the season. Atlanta with some games in hand. For Atlanta, this is the 13th game of the season. Talking with the coach, Lori Calloway, about the last game. Get a couple of comments from here, and that, of course, was the 1-goal victory in the U.S. Open Cup play. Coach's interview brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns, and certainly that was a very tough game, was it not, for the Rhinos?
Yeah, it was difficult, not being able to put the ball in the net in the first half, and those things happen. In fact, at 10-0 in shots after 25 minutes, I said to Yuki, these guys are going to score with their first chance. And lo and behold, it was another 20 minutes before they did so, but they did. And it was 1 shot, 1 goal, and by that time I think it was 18 or 19 to 1 shots. And so sort of bizarre game, really. Ended up with 40 shots, which I understand is a team record. The Yellow 9, which I think is probably an individual record in a game for shots. And, just a frustrating night in so much that, through a perhaps lack of quality on our part, superb goalkeeping on their part, 3 or 4 more guys kicked balls off the line when the keeper was beaten. And it was one of those nights, sometimes teams lose those games. And it's not because of the worst team, it's just those things happen. So relief to get it over with and actually score those 2 late goals and go through to play New England.
All right, so now the Rhinos can get back to league action here tonight at Paytech Park. The Rhinos and Atlanta Silverbacks getting underway in a moment from Paytech. This is the Raging Rhinos Broadcast Network. Well, you could certainly not ask for much of a nicer night than it is tonight here at Paytech Park. It is a beautiful evening. Not hot, not cold. It's a little bit of a breeze. The sun's still shining, and blue skies overhead, and nary a cloud to be seen. It is just a gorgeous evening here tonight for soccer. Rhinos will try and maintain a little bit of their of late dominance over the Atlanta Silverbacks. Last season they came out with a 2-0 season record against the Silverbacks. They look to continue that here tonight. And the Rhinos unbeaten in 7, while the Silverbacks are winless in the last 6. And certainly you can't rest on your laurels, however, is because, as we know in this league, any given night, we know what can happen. Let's check on the lineups. First of all, for the visiting Atlanta Silverbacks, coming in is Ryan McIntosh in goal. McIntosh in goal, as he has only played 1 game so far this season, and that was a game in which the other goalkeeper, Felipe Quintero, was out suspended. So McIntosh comes in with 1 game under his record, but that was a pretty good game as he had a shutout. He came up with a shutout victory in his only game of the season and had a total of 3 saves in that contest. So McIntosh coming in with an 0-1 record and a 0.00 goals against average. Through the defense, well, in this Dave Hayes is a defender. Ordinarily, of course, we would remember him as a midfielder. But Hayes on defense, along with Matt Bobo, Martin Lancaster, another newcomer to this team, and Omar Giroun. And through the midfield, Scott Butte, Rodrigo Rios. It's Tony McManus and Rafiq Asim. And then up front, Daniel Antoniuk. Remember him from the Montreal Impact. And the other forward is Warren Yuka. For the Rhinos, starting out in goal once again tonight, his 14th consecutive start in goal for Chase Harrison. Harrison in goal for the Rhinos, coming in with a 5-2-6 record and a 1.26 goals against average. 1.23 make that goals against average. On defense, Tim Wabansu, Scott Palguda, Kevin Novak, and Jason Perry. In the midfield, Kevin Burns, John Ball, Aaron Lyons, and Johnny Manyonger. And up front, Matthew Delicott and Abad Diallo. There's your starting lineups for tonight as the Rhinos take on the Atlanta Silverbacks. Back to league action here for this one. After both these teams competed in Open Cup play on Tuesday night, Rhinos wearing the white uniforms with some black stripes, some yellow trim. And they'll be shooting here to start out at the net to our right. And then the visiting Silverbacks with a red jersey with black shorts and socks. And they'll be attacking the net, and Chase Harrison down to our left. A little bit of sun in the end of the field. Chase Harrison is in right now. If there's sun shining, it'll be in the eyes of the Atlanta goalkeeper, McIntosh. Ryan McIntosh, 24-year-old from Cooper City, Florida. Saw some time with DC United last year. He is 6'1", 175 pounds. He'll have the sun shining in his eyes for the first little bit, as about one half of the field right now is in shade, and the other half, of course, in the sunshine. The end of the field, the Rhinos are defending this to my left again here in the first half, and that's the end that is in shade. And then the end that's in the sun is down to right. That's the defensive end for the Silverbacks here. Atlanta, of course, playing mostly a lot of games against the teams in the South, Charleston, Miami, Puerto Rico. As their last game was at Charleston, they ended up losing that game to the Battery 2-1. Two previous games, they went to scoreless ties. Seattle at Atlanta, California at Atlanta were scoreless ties. Game before that, they lost at home to Miami FC 2-1. And then before that, the two games were played on the road, losing in Charleston 2-0 and at Miami 2-1. So that's the winless string of 6 games without a victory for the Atlanta Silverbacks. 4 losses and 2 ties in the last 6 games. Atlanta doesn't score a lot of goals, but they also don't give up a lot of goals. On the season, coming into tonight, 5th in the league in goals for at 14, 5th in the league in goals against at 15. So they've scored 14, but given up 15. The Rhinos, on the other hand, their numbers are much larger at both ends. The good news is the scoring, they are first overall in the league, having scored 23 goals so far. But on the downside, they're 11th in the league in goals against, having allowed 18. I guess that's the way it is when you open things up. You not only score goals, but you give up goals. Teams are warming up as we await the beginning of tonight's game. The official kickoff coming up here in just a moment at Paytech Park. Again, for the Rhinos, game 16 of the season. That's the most played in the league so far this season. 16 games, 15 having been played coming into tonight. Actually, Seattle has caught up with 15 also, and then Miami has 15. And you have nobody with 14. You got several teams that have played 13. Vancouver, Charleston, and Minnesota. And then there's some with 12. There's 2 teams, or there's 1 team with only 10 games played, and that's Portland. Getting set to go now. Again, the Rhinos kicking in the net to our right. Chase Harrison in goal down to our left. Kickoff to be taken by the Battery. And taking the kickoff is Antoniuk. He's a big boy. A striker for the visiting Silverbacks. Antoniuk at 6'4", 190, a 26-year-old out of Philadelphia. And the other forward is Warren Yuka, 22-year-old from Atlanta. Still awaiting the official signal. And it's time to go here at Paytech. First of 2 meetings between the 2 teams. They will meet in Atlanta in just a couple of weeks. They'll be playing in Atlanta on July the 16th. It'll be the 2 games against Atlanta this year. One, of course, here and one in Atlanta. Rhinos have up front, as usual, Delicott and Diallo. We'll do the attacking and through the midfield. It is Lines and Younger. Ball, and then withdrawn is Burns, and the defensive role will include Palguda on the outside of the left. Central defenders will be Bonsu and Perry, and outside on the right will be Kevin Novak. Should be getting underway here very shortly. All right, there's the whistle, and here we go tonight at Paytech. And this again, the Rhinos taking on the Silverbacks. I'm Don Stevens. Glad to have you folks along. David Hayes, the former Rhino, will switch it off on the right wing side as moving upfield now. Here come the Silverbacks. At midfield, pushed to the outside by McManus. He'll drop it back. And a long clearing shot downfield by Lancaster. Big hopper down near the end line. Bonsu will bike it back over his head out to the 35. And Younger heads it up in the air. And it's Butte to head it to the outside. Underneath it, Talguda for the Rhinos on the left wing. As it rolls out, it'll be taken on the throw-in by the visiting Silverbacks. Lancaster will take the throw-in. Off on the right wing as they work it down to the Rochester 30, but knocked away and out of bounds on the far side. Again up with it is Scott Butte. He is originally born in Bowie, Maryland. Throw in down inside the box, far into the box. And settling it there, Yuka trying to draw it out in front. It comes out to the corner of the box. A roller along the 10. As the ball is knocked down, a scramble for the ball out in front, tipped aside, and turning out the far end of the box is Palguda to bring it away. On the left wing side, he'll drop it back in the middle. Actually, a foul evidently was called because it'll be a free kick for the Rhinos. Free kick for Rochester. Harrison will take the kick. Rolls it ahead out near his 18. Looks it over as the players move downfield. And Harrison with the right foot. Low line drive kick through midfield. Coming down to the 35. That's flicked back. Now up in the air and underneath it. Not at his side. As Bobo getting to it. And it's still up in the air. Now flicked forward. Off of the far wing. And Palguda underneath it. Pushing back. And Lancaster with the right foot. Shanked it off the outside of his foot. But comes down still in play. Palguda nodding it back in the middle. Butte with it. Will right foot it out near midfield. That's popped up in the air. And Toniuk couldn't control. Taken by Lines in the center circle. And he's knocked over flying as the foul is called on Hassim. So a quick restart for the Rhinos at the midfield line. Burns through the center circle. Dropped back once again. A give and go. Touched off by Ball, but got away from him. Now Burns blocks it forward to Ben Younger. 35 yards out. Spins in his pass. Picked off by Butte. And it's recovered by the Silverbacks. Off of the near wing, Hayes. Playing an outside left defensive position. Dropped back at midfield. One touch across midfield. And Toniuk tips it off for Yuka. As he approaches the 18-yard box, spinning back at the 20 and turns it to the outside of the near wing. Cross down along the 6, but that's knotted away and out by Bonsu. Drop back once again. Arthur Novak plays it up the near wing for Delicott. Turns back, can't get away. Now he does deflect it forward across midfield and getting to it. Bobo will drive it up into the stands. Throw in at midfield on the near side for the Rhinos. As Novak steps up for the throw-in. Drop back, Burns right back to Novak, dropping it down at his 30 for Perry. And then he'll play it off of the far wing, and it's brought away by the Rhinos. Palguda out to near midfield for Lines. And the Rhinos, first moments they've played this season without Ken Burtz in the central defensive position. He's out suspended along with Shirley Black. Stephen Shirley Black tonight, both out suspended. Handed off of the far wing and in front. Burns will spin back with the ball. He's able to tip it off to Palguda. As then he collides with Yuka, and the ball is brought back. Left-footed ahead by Palguda. Ball knocks it down off the chest and now turns and chips it across midfield. Turning back for it as the ball is cleared all the way back by Lancaster down to the keeper. And McIntosh first times it away, but he shanked it up into the stands on the far side. So a turnover. The Rhinos will take the throw-in across the way. Quick throw-in up the left wing side for Lines. Tried to bring it forward. No room, so he just puts it off the leg of a Atlanta player and out. So a throw in for the Rhinos. 35 yards out on the far side. Lines rolling it off in the middle for Burns. Turns to his left with a quick step to the far corner of the box. Tips it down in front. And it's headed away by Hayes. Ball stopping it down at the 25. Turns it back. Rolled it off for Lines. But it's then pushed away out to midfield. And Perry gets to it. Will just hammer it into his own player bench on the near side of the field. Throw in for the visiting Silverbacks. Hayes looking for the throw in. Cross midfield. That went sneaking through to Yuka. Turns it to the outside for Hayes again on the left wing side. Rolls it ahead on the near wing. Yuka turning back for the ball. On him is Novak and a pass off in the middle. Butte chasing after it. 35 yards out. Sneaks it through to pass off to Antoniuk. Spinning around. Look for the return chip, but stepping in the way is Burns. He'll play it out to midfield. That's one touch ahead, and Ball recovers it at his own 30 for the Rhinos. Drops it back in the middle for Perry. Leaves it there for Burns, rolling it to the outside of the near wing, and Novak then dropping it back at his 20, taken by Jason Perry. To the outside of the near wing again for Novak as he turns, as he's watched closely by Rios. Pass along the near wing and recovered by the Rhinos. Perry drawing it forward. Rhinos taking their time now at the moment. No score in this one. 5th minute. Long ball served downfield, in behind Diallo. Ball behind him, headed away by Lancaster. Down inside of the 6, and McIntosh will throw it out on the near side for Hayes. On the left wing, sends it through midfield, but Perry steps in the way. And he pops it up into the air, and it's a throw-in on the near side for the Silverbacks. Rios with the short throw in debut, right back to Rios, but knocked away and out off ball. So throw in on the near side once again for the visiting Silverbacks. Throw in on the near side, and Hayes will step up for the throw in. Back to the midfield line. Turning around on the near side, driven up the left wing by Jeroen. And it'll drop all the way down to the Rhino 18, taken there by Perry. Good-sized defensive row here for the visiting Silverbacks. Omar Jeroen, 6'5", 205, a 23-year-old from Peachtree City, Georgia. They got some big boys on this team. Diallo is upended, or make that Delicate upended in the center circle. And the whistle blows as the Rhinos will have a restart. Burns looking around, ready to serve it up. Now the 6th minute, no score, just getting underway to Ben Younger, and off on the right side, overlapping on the outside is Novak. On the near touchline, 1v1 with Rios, across down along the 6. That's in front, flicked out the far side, over the end line by Lancaster. So a corner kick for the Rhinos. Corner kick, first corner of the match.
All right, Rhino fans, let's hear you now. Rhinos for...
Palguda, quick service, sends it on top. Far corner of the 18. Ben Younger crossing on the 18. Picked out of midair by Lines. His first time shot in on the volley, but over top of the crossbar. So the Rhinos getting a couple of shots away. Missing the frame, however. Goal kick for McIntosh. Looks like he's going to leave it there, and Jeroen will come back to take the kick. Jeroen placing the ball at the 6. Very big boy, 6'5", right footer. Sends it through the center circle. In underneath it goes Palguda. He'll nod it right back across midfield. Flick forward by Diallo. Not getting the foot on it. Bobo pops it up in the air. It comes down, and big hop on the ball. Underneath the ball, but he's run off the back, and now it's knocked away by Novak. Play goes on. Hayes out on the near side for Rios, approaching midfield. Coming back to take it away, Delicate. Then it's pulled off his foot. Off the near wing, McManus looking for a cross, and getting the foot on it to knock it out is Delicate. Throw it on the near side for the Silverbacks. Run the Rochester 45 on the near side. Hayes to take the throw in. Getting a few instructions from the coach, Jason Smith. Goes short on the throw in. Ball knocks it out. Another throw in on the near side for the Silverbacks. Hayes looking for the throw in. Goes toward the middle. Off the right shoulder of Butte, knocks it down. Butte pushing it to the outside again. Middle, Rios a give and go, and up the left wing side. Here's a cross in front of Perry. Able to knot it away and out of play. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos. Over for the throw-in will be Hayes. 25 yards out off the left wing side. He goes short. Butte turning it back to the outside for Hayes on the near wing. Looking for the cross down inside. Up they go. It's knocked down, and they chase for the ball. Getting to it. Perry knocks it away. Rios can't get a shot away. End up with it. Younger knocked away. However, blocked again. Antonia can't get the shot away. Boy, talk about a whole lot of things that get on at one time, and players down on the pitch. Antonia gets back up. However, for the Rhinos, down on the pitch is T-Bone Tiwabansu. Collisions all over the place. Bodies all over the place. And Bansu's the last man still down on the pitch. And he raises his arms up, says, okay, help me up. But collisions all over the place. He seems to be all right. Throwing on the near side for the Rhinos from their own 20. So Bansu is up and okay, shakes it off. The referee, Lee Suckle. His assistants, Jeffrey Mellon and David Potter, and the fourth official, Franco Bevilacqua.
This Rhinos throw-in is brought to you by
Novak, short on the throw-in to Burns, right back to Novak. He'll drop it back to his 18 to Perry. Brings it out. Switching off on the left wing side for Palguda. No score in this game. We're in the 10th minute, just getting underway. Rod forward, Bansu switching to the outside again, back on the near wing for Novak. Up the right side, turns toward the middle. Plays it back to Perry at his 25. Perry dribbles it forward. Starts to bring it forward slowly, approaching midfield. Now a long chip up the right side. Diallo gets underneath it, knocks it down, chasing after the ball, but getting there first is Hayes to drive it away at midfield. However, Perry steps up, and he'll head it across midfield. However, rolls out of bounds on the near side, and the throw in for the Silverbacks from their own 25.
In the stands
on the near side. Throw in to be taken on the near wing. High floater out to near midfield. Locked to the midfield line. Antoniuk knocked down. Up with the ball as McManus drops it back in the middle and chased after there. Line stopping in as he tried to pick it off from Butte but couldn't get to it. Played by Lancaster across midfield for McManus, and stepping in to bump him is Bonsu. And at midfield, the foul is called on the Rhinos. Restart for Atlanta. Turning back at midfield. Dropped off and a chip up the right side. Stepping in. Bonsu knocks it down. Burns will lay it to the outside for Lines. Rhinos on the attack across midfield for Menyonger. Moves it to the outside for Diallo. Looking for the return pass, but Diallo drops it off, and now Palguda up the wing along the touchline for Menyonger. Keeps it in play, works back toward the middle, far end of the 18. It's Delicate, one touch to the outside, across in front. Ball knocked down at the 18 on the near side. Ball drops it on top. Moving in to help out. Novak turns it off in the middle. Tackle away for a moment. Now Burns with a left foot, a crack at it into the midsection of McIntosh. Good shot from 25, but right into the midsection of McIntosh. Now the Rhinos, opportunity. McIntosh makes the save. Volley kick through midfield, coming down to the Rochester 40. Perry heads it up in the air, but it goes the wrong way. Yuka settles the ball, trying to bring it forward. Perry bumps him and knocks it away out of the far side. The rolling ball is out on the far wing, and it'll be taken there on the throw-in by Hassim. Now he's going to leave it there. Moving up from his defensive role will be Lancaster for the throw-in. 3/4 of the field now is in the shade. And goaltender McIntosh down to my right, still shading his eyes as he looks downfield into the Rhinos' end of the field, which is to my left. Cross down in front. That's blocked away. Perry with it. We'll lay it outside the 18 of the far end and brought away by Lines. As he's run over from behind by Antoniuk. Play goes on. Dropped off out top around the 35. Spun back and chasing down. Diallo knocks it away. But up with it Rios for the Silverbacks. And a pass ahead for Butte. Trying to spin in behind. Gets a shot away. Diving down on his left side as Harrison comes up with the ball and holds on. High floater, volley kick through midfield. That went up in the air, blocked away again, up toward midfield, but underneath it is ball. On the near side, challenged from behind by Rios. Gets away in the middle to Diallo as he's bumped, turns it away on the near side, and Novak helping up. Up the right side, ball touching it back in the middle for Novak. Looks for the through ball and blocked away. Menyonger has it, 18 yards out, he's dumped in front of the box. The whistle blows, and it's a foul call. The Rhinos will have a free kick, 20 yards out, directly in the middle of the field. 20 yards out, right outside the box. Rhinos with a golden opportunity here. Great placement on the ball. Menyonger was sent flying. Slow getting up, still down on his knees. Now gets up. So the Rhinos will see what they can do as far as this set piece is concerned. Lines and Menyonger toying with the ball. Now Duna standing behind. 5-6-man wall at the 15. And Younger and Lines, who's going to take it? Who's going to touch it? And Younger pointing. Now he sneaks it through. Ball with the right foot. He's shot in, but he missed the upper right corner by a couple of feet. Passed it actually through the legs of Lines. The ball is streaking in on the right wing side. Got the shot away, but missed the upper corner. Goal kick for the Silverbacks. Sponsors of these broadcasts tonight includes Weigel's, the official hot dog at Paytech Park. Power Trip, taste the power. And by Harrow East Athletic Club on the web at harroweast.com. Goal kick for McIntosh. Well, actually, it's taken by again the defender. Lined out through midfield by Giroux. And in the center circle coming down, knotted aside by Ball for Lines. Turns off to his left, drops it off for Menyonger. Center circle Burns, one touch to the outside. Moving up on the ball is Palguda on the left wing side. Feeding it through down inside the far end of the box. Knocked away there by Diallo. as he's challenged by Bobo. Dropped to the outside. Palguda cross in front. That's back heel in front. Oh, just missed the upper corner. Oh, up in the air, got the back heel on it. Where the upper corner on the right side missed only a foot high. Fourth shot for the Rhinos.
Donations for the Fairport Barrington Dollars for Scholars Scholarship in memory of the two.
On the near side, out of bounds. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos. Or make that for the Silverbacks to throw in. Their own side of midfield. 15th minute, no score at Paytech. Hayes set for the throw in. Everybody pushing and shoving. Now Hayes with a long looper across midfield, but Novak nods it right back across the midfield line, and Delicott flicks it toward the middle. Yellow after it, but he's bumped by Bobo. Another collision, the ball rolls out. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos. Ball stepping up for the throw in. He'll take it from the Atlanta 40. And goes toward the middle for Burns. Looks through the center circle, switching to the outside of the left wing for Palguda. Brings it up the left flank. Pass ahead for Ben Younger. The outside lines. One touch dropping it back for Palguda. As the Rhinos break for the net, Palguda drops it to his own side of midfield for Bansu. Center circle. Now long pass to the outside of the right wing, and Ball gets to it. Nods it down. After it, here's Delicott. Got away from him, but Ball keeps it in on the near side. Off the right wing from 20. Goes for the net. Upper corner backside. Off the crossbar head. Tipped over top of the crossbar by McIntosh. Ball picking the upper corner on the wide side. McIntosh leaping at the last moment. Tips it over the crossbar. Big Ball trying to catch the keeper off the line. And almost did. Corner kick for the Rhinos. Off the left wing side. Second corner of the match.
Corner kick.
Palguda, left-footed kicker, out-swinging kick. 17th minute, no score. Palguda serves it up. Drives it out top. Bansu in underneath it. Flicks it toward the net. That's knocked down. And now Bansu right foot on it, but he popped that one way high and up over top of the net and over the back boards and out of play. So the Rhinos now leading his shot 6-1. Of course, we saw last game where they outshot Western Mass Pioneers 40-5 and coming up with just the 2-1 victory. So the shots aren't necessarily indicative of what's going to happen in the game. Well, the Rhinos did pull it out, but again, 40-5 are the shots in favor of the Rhinos. Turn to the outside of the near wing and Hayes across midfield. Harry gets a foot on him, but he hauls down Antonia, and the foul is called. So a restart for the Silverbacks just across midfield into Rhino territory. It's David Hayes, left-footed chip down to the 18. One bounce down inside and picked up there by Harrison. Takes the throw, holds on to the ball, now throws it out of the far wing for Lyons. 18th minute at Paytech and no score. Lyons across midfield, drops it off toward the middle for Men Younger. Again, turns to the outside. Lyons touching it back for Palguda, now across midfield, and he'll play it toward the middle for Burns. As a 45 yards out, feed through. Diallo, one touch to the outside. Palguda returned to the outside of the give and go. Picking it up as Men Younger. Off of the far touchline from 18 yards out. Tries to sneak by. Turns back. Still has it. Bobo turns in behind and finally takes the ball away. That Bobo tackled off the ball by Men Younger. And the whistle blows and a foul is called on Men Younger. Came in from behind. Took down the player, the defender, Bobo, and knocked the ball out of bounds. So the foul is called. No score, 19th minute of Paytech. Perfect evening for soccer. Long chip through midfield, coming down to the Rochester 35. Flicked toward the middle by Antonia. In underneath it is Yuka. Turning it forward, looking for the left-footed shot. Roller in, wide of the net, out over the end line. It'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include Nextel, Power Up, Best Volvo, where style, safety, and all-wheel drive come together. And by Cintas, the service professionals. Discover what Cintas can do for your organization.
Let's hear now from Rhinos number 12, Jason Perry.
Harrison will take the kick. This is the 16th game of the season for the Rhinos. 13th for Atlanta. Cross midfield, headed up in the air, coming down center circle. Lines underneath it, but it's nodded forward. And now the foul is called to McManus. So the Rhinos will have the restart from the center circle. Burns looking it over. Goes long out on the left wing side. Moving all the way down deep to the corner is Palguda. Stops, turns back to the right foot, switches it down inside, but headed away by Lancaster. Out of the 35, picked up by Ben Younger. Draws it forward, pointing toward the end line for Palguda. Now he draws it off on the touchline for Palguda. Dropping it back. Ben Younger again 35 yards out. Long chip along the 18. Rolling to the end line. It's out over the end line and out of play. Goal kick for the visiting Atlanta Silverbacks. 20th minute, no score. Rhinos leading in shots now 6-2. Push to the outside of the near wing for Hayes. Drawing it back toward the middle. He'll then drop it back to the keeper. McIntosh has it along his 6. Pushing it forward with the right foot. Sends it out to the midfield circle. That's settled there by Burns. One tip ahead for the ball back to Burns. And now switching to the outside of the right wing for Delicott. Won't get to it. Has one hop and it's out of bounds. Throw in for the Silverbacks from their own 25 on the near side. Hayes the throw in along the near wing. Burns stepping in a collision there. Novak knocks it away from Ben Younger. Tipping it off to Burns. Looks and pass on the right side to Ball. He'll drop it back 45 yards out. Novak in the middle. Once again Burns back to their midfield for Novak. Delivers off in the middle for Ben Younger, but stepping in, coming in with a fairly high boot was McManus. Pass forward through everybody and dribbled out of bounds on the near side throw in for the Rhinos. This from their own 35. Gary with a long run and the long throw up the near wing, headed away and out of bounds by Giron. Throw in for the Rhinos. Down in Atlanta territory. That's from 25 yards out on the near side. Novak up for the throw in. Throws to the corner for Menyonga. Double team, trying to draw it out in front. Bouncer away inside the 18, picked up by Diallo. It's Menyonga, pops it up in the air, out to the 18, that's knotted down. And Bobo letting it roll, finally is turned back by Hayes. Looks on the left foot. Lets it off the rear end of Menyonga, gets it right back again. And a high floater out to midfield this time around. Gary bumping there with Antoniuk, and Burns turns to the side for the Rhinos to Novak, turning to the outside. Up the right wing, pass in the middle, tipped away, and back for Antoniuk, drops it off. Feed out to midfield, Bunsu after it. Yuka got a foot on it to tip it by him and into Rhino territory. Palguda to Bunsu. Back out on the outside on the left for Palguda. Approaching the midfield line, drops it back once again to Bunsu. Off of the near wing, where it's taken by Perry to Burns. It's a return pass, 35 yards out. Perry across midfield on the near side for Diallo. At the midfield line, turns, trying to get away. Grabbed by McManus. Now he does turn the ball ahead, but Hayes steps in. And it's knocked away, and Burns is taken down on attack, and a no call is made. Center circle, Butte up with it for the Silverbacks. Lost it, taken away by Menyonga. Line's dropping it off of the midfield line, and ahead comes Burns. On the attack, looks for the through ball to Menyonga, sneaks it through to the 25, turns it to the outside of the left wing. Palguda cross along the 18 down inside, but Hayes is there to head it away out of the box. Driven out toward midfield, Yuka after it, and Perry in behind him takes it away. Drops it back for Novak, center circle for Burns, looking around. Burns with the right foot, delivers down to the far end of the 18, after it in behind is Delicott. Knocked away out over the end line. And it certainly looked like it went off of Lancaster and out, but the referee says no, it's a goal kick. Well, that's a tough call right there. '23rd minute, no score here at Paytech. Goal kick for the Atlanta Silverbacks. Trying to stop a 6-game winless string. With the right foot, Giroux will then drive it out to the center circle. Makes it just barely across the midfield line, then headed forward. Lines in underneath him, but he's run over by McManus, and a foul is called, so the Rhinos will have the restart across midfield. Palguda, quick restart off in the center circle for John Ball. Pass ahead. Diallo trying to tip it to the outside. Deflected away. Diallo coming back for the ball. Able to lay it out on the near wing for Novak. At the midfield line, his pass ahead, however, is blocked and taken away again by McManus for Rios. In the center circle. Being chased back by Burns. Dropped off at the far wing for Lancaster. Right wing side with the right foot. Puts it up into the stands. Throw in near midfield on the far side for the Rhinos. Throw in Palguda. Off to Burns. Looks upfield. Turning it again to the outside. Palguda dropping it back his own side of midfield for Bonsu. He'll move along the 45 in his own end of the field on the near side. Approaching the center circle. Pass ahead for Lyons, who checks back to help out. Drops it off for Burns. Gets the long look downfield. Goes to the right wing side. Floated deep to the corner. And Hayes will let it roll out over the end line. Another goal kick for the Silverbacks. Other sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Connolly Printing, the official printer of the Rhinos. Salvatore's, they deliver everything but babies. Health Source Chiropractic, your partners in complete health. Dr. Donald Dudley, the official chiropractic provider for the Rochester Sports Group. Goal kick to be taken by the defender. Giroux with the right foot. Sends it out through the center circle. Burns up underneath it, couldn't quite reach it. That's one bounce ahead for Yuka, and he'll spin it off at the far wing. Turning back toward Palguda, but being chased there, and Palguda puts it up into the stands as he got to it before Hasim could reach it. So it'll be a throw-in, 30 yards out of the far side for the Silverbacks. In Rhino territory, long chip down inside the 18 Yuka, but they're parried ahead and away and out of the box. Big bounce of the ball. Burns is up, and that's knocked down. That blocked aside. Trying to get away, Butte, but that's tipped away again. Burns tackling it away. Slides it off of the far wing, and it's carried up the left wing side by Lines. Pass hit across midfield, in behind, as Menyonger couldn't get to it. Center circle. Silverbacks still have it. Pass ahead, down inside the box, and out to take it is Harrison. Tips it ahead for Novak, out the near side, pass up the right wing for Ball. Approaching midfield, takes a look downfield. Ball on the touchline, ahead in the zone for Diallo. Turns back with the ball, gets tied up, trying to get away, knocked away, and knocked down, and now out near midfield. Big collision there as Burns comes in on Butte, knocks him down. The referee wants to have a few words with Kevin Burns. And so, Butte still down. Hayes over to talk to the referee. He wanted more than just a talking to for Kevin Burns. Well, Butte, he'll be getting up in a couple of moments as he is rolling around on the field, now setting up. Scott Butte, 26-year-old originally from Bowie, Maryland. Rhinos are here again on Tuesday night against the Seattle Sounders. Tuesday night is next action for the Sounders. Don't forget, tomorrow night, the Rhinos women's team will be here at Paytech Park. Tomorrow night, Rhinos women's will be here. Hayes looking downfield. With the left foot, drives it ahead down to the 18th. That's up in the air. Perry in underneath it. Now Burns able to play it aside. Chased after by Lines, but can't get to it. That rolls away out of bounds on the far side and off of the Silverbacks. So throwing across the way for the Rhinos from their own 20. Palguda to Lines. Right back to Palguda. He'll send it out toward midfield. Dadicott back. He'll pass off to Lines. Breaks it across midfield on the left wing. Far side of the field. Here's a cross down inside Diallo. Stumping. He got a foot on it. It's knocked away. Punched away and out top. Ball brings it in off the chest with the right foot. Dipping shot in, but it's a foot over the crossbar. Got a bender. It was coming down, but not fast enough. As it was over top of the crossbar, out over the end. Goal kick once again for the Silverbacks. Diallo looked like he might have gotten a shot away, but McIntosh punched it off. Yeah, he did. Diallo got the left foot on it. And McIntosh, moving out on the ball, was able to punch it away. Ball flighted out through midfield. Burns up. But Antonio up over top of him. Knocked away as Bonsu plays it back toward midfield. Lines heads it in the air, coming down the midfield line. Ball nods it across midfield. And Younger right back to ball on the return. He's run over from behind by McManus. Play goes on. On the left wing, brought forward by the Rhinos to the outside for Lines, 35 yards out. Lines dropping it off in the middle for Burns. With the right foot goes to the outside for Novak. Overlapping down along the end line. Novak in the near corner. Offside flag is in the air. Offside against the Rhinos deep in the corner. So free kick for the Silverbacks. No score, 29th minute. Pass on the near wing, Rios right back to Hayes. Long service through midfield. Yuka will knock it down there. Antonio got blocked ahead by Bonsu. Draws it forward to Menyonger on the attack. Down to the 25 on the right wing side. Turns back toward the middle, switching to the left foot. Rolls is trying to sneak it through. Bobo will boot it up into the stands on the near side. Throw in for the Rhinos. 20 yards out on the near side of the field. And who's going to take the throw in? It looks like it'll be Johnny Ball. 29th minute, no score. Rhinos leading in shots, 8-2, but haven't put one through yet. Throw in, Ball. High floater coming down along the 6th and headed up in the air out the near side again. Novak and Rios up. That's knocked away. Then blocked off by McManus with the left foot. We'll send it through and downfield. Getting to it, Bonsu. on the right foot across midfield. Burns on the near side of the touch line, but knocked away and out. Throw in on the near side for the Silverbacks. Hayes will take the throw in. Cross midfield, but right into the chest of Novak. The Rhinos have it back through midfield for Delicott. Tried the flick, but that, however, right to Hayes, and up with it again, the Silverbacks into Rhino territory. On the near wing, spun to the outside, and Hayes overlapping. Trying to tackle it away. Bonsu couldn't get to it. In the corner, Hayes looking for the cross. Down along the end line. Ball knocked down. As away with it. Here comes Novak. And the Rhinos have it. But taken away again by Hayes. Dropped off. Butte down inside for Yuka. Turns back at the 18. Couldn't get turned. And is back to the net. And the offside flag is in the air on the far side. Offside against Silverbacks. Free kick for the Rhinos out around their 18. Harrison to take the kick. 31st minute. No score here at Paytech. Harrison with the right foot drives it out through midfield. Headed in the air by Giron. Coming down center circle. Knocked down there by Lines. He'll look footed forward. Yellow turning in behind. Gets away, but a push on Bobo and the foul is called. That was Manyanga rather. Giron placing the ball, rolls it out on the near side for Hayes. Right footing it across midfield, stepping in. Perry knocked it loose. Recovered momentarily by the Silverbacks, but then taken back by Burns, who will drop it down inside of his penalty area to the keeper, Harrison. Chase Harrison's 14th straight. After Battle played the first two games, came up injured. Harrison has gone the distance ever since. Turn to the outside and up the right wing for Novak on the attack. In the middle for Ball. He'll chip it up the right side. Menyonger after it. Near into the 18. Cross down along the 18 in front. Lines had it teed up with the left foot. As the ball deflected aside. Pushed by Ball on the far side. Chasing after it in a race with Lancaster. And Lancaster able to shovel it out on the far side. Palguda stops it. Keeps it in. Goes down to the far end of the 18 and getting to a Giroun. With the right foot. Hammers it out the midfield for Yuka. Coming back to nod it aside. Palguda. Rhinos have it. Burns in the center circle. Dropping it off its own side of midfield, and Perry out on the near wing for Novak. Burns back, drops it off in the middle there, taken by Menyonger. Looks for the through ball to hit for Delicott, 25 yards out in the middle. Got tied up, slips it out on the far side, will chase after it himself. Gets to it, drops it off for Palguda, 25 yards out. On the far side, down Delicott. Pass down along the middle for Menyonger. And taken away by the Silverbacks, and Atlanta on the attack. Brought away in upfield, Butte across midfield. Ball chasing from behind. Tipped off with the near wing for Rios. Moving up the left side. Cross down in front. Yuka hit ball, but up over top of the crossbar. Nice breakout. And the shot just a little bit high from Yuka. Goal kick for the Rhinos. 33rd minute. No score. Rhinos leading in shots, down 9-3. Make that 8-3. Harrison taking the kick from a 6. Takes a look downfield with the right foot, will drive it away. Entire field is in shade now. No sun is having any effect here. Flick forward by Diallo. Turning in behind Menyonger, trying to get to it, but Hayes gets there. With the left foot, sends it out to midfield. Novak stepping up, but in a collision. It's headed across midfield. Tackled away by Perry. Rolls away from Butte and out of bounds. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos. Novak throw into Burns, right back to Novak. Cross midfield on the near side for Ball. Turning back, drops it his own side of midfield, and Burns spins it through the center circle off of the far wing for Palguda. Stepping out and across midfield for Delicott. 35 yards out, rolls it to the outside for Lines. Looks back toward the middle, still no score in this one. We're in the 34th minute here at Paytech. Burns rather make that ball pass behind Lines, now brought away on the far wing by Palguda. Inside the box, far the end line, tipped by Lines, down in front, hit ball, comes out the near wing, side volley kick, taken by Menyonger, missed the back post by a couple of feet wide. Menyonger going across the goal mouth, out over the end line, and off of Atlanta, so it'll be a corner kick for the Rhinos.
All right, Rhino fans, here we go.
Corner kick for Rochester.
Loud and proud. Rhino.
Stepping up for the corner is Palguda.
Corner kick.
Left wing side. Here comes the service. High in the box. Bonsu up, but he's bumped away and couldn't get up for the ball.
Coming out top, knocked back near midfield, chased down by Novak. At the midfield line, they'll drop it back to the keeper. Harrison way out of the box will come out for it. Turns it again to the outside of the left wing for Novak. 35th minute here at Paytech. No score. Burns up with it, takes his time, beginning to work forward. Rolls it off along his 35 in the middle for Bonsu. Going to the outside of the near wing for Perry. One touch in the middle for Ball. Across midfield. Sneaks it to the outside, and Perry on his horse after it. In collision. Bobo tackling the ball away, knocked it out of bounds. Throw it to the near side for the Rhinos. 15 yards out off the right wing side. And it looks like Perry is going to stay up for the throw-in. He has a long throw-in. Very powerful young man. Set for the throw-in. And there it is, down inside the 6, headed away and out. Line settling with the right foot. It's a bouncer in. Couple of hops in, grabbed by McIntosh off the line. So the Rhinos get a shot away, but it ended up being deflected and came down rather weak in on goal. Across midfield, here we go. Atlanta on the attack. Yuka spinning back. Turns back to the right foot side. Got it away, sends it out of the far wing for Akeem, but off of him and out of bounds on the far side. Throw in for the Rhinos off the left wing side. Throw into Palguda, right back to the outside for Lyons. Drawing it forward now. He'll drop it off once again for Palguda. Works toward the middle for Burns. From his own 25, begins to look downfield. Burns with the left foot, hammers it away, and downfield, turning in behind goes Lancaster for the Silverbacks, getting to it. Puts it out of bounds on the far side to throw in for the Rhinos. Lyons quickly with a throw-in to Palguda. Moving up on the left wing side to the outside again for Lyons. Burns along the 35 and a pass in the middle for John Ball. As he looks around, switching into the outside and back on the near wing. Moving up the right wing side is Novak. Long chip down inside the 18. Yellow up with the ball, headed away, fired to the box. Knotted down in front by Palguda. However, underneath it, McManus will then first time it away and out of bounds on the far side. Throw in for the Rhinos. 40 yards out off the left wing side. That's the far side of the field. Palguda looking for the throw in. Goes to Ben Younger. He'll roll it toward the middle, turn back to the ball. Double team pulled off the ball. And a foul is called on Ben Younger as he got a hold of his arm. So it'll be a free kick for the Silverbacks from their own 40. Looking it over is Lancaster. His third game. Has signed recently by the Silverbacks. Nodded away on the near side and rolling out of bounds. Novak couldn't get there in time to keep it in. Throw it on the near side for the Silverbacks, 20 yards out. On the near wing to Hayes. Back along midfield and chipped in the air out to the midfield line by Novak. Delicott up, couldn't reach it. Turning back, Ball now nods it toward the middle, but right into the feet of Butte, and his pass forward to Yuka. He'll chip it off in the middle for Rios. Plays it away to the outside for Akeem on the right wing. Back return pass for Rios. Nobody will get to it. That rolls out over the end line and out of play. Goal kick for the Rhinos. More sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include the World Gym. Real gyms, real people, real results. Auction Direct. For your next car, log on to auctiondirect.com. And by the RITN, everything you need to be perfectly comfortable is at the RITN. Harrison placing the ball at his 6. Set to go now with a right-footed kick. Delivers through midfield. Coming down in the center circle. Quick for Delicott to Lyons. Dropping it off at midfield for Burns. Into the outside of the left wing. Moving up on the play is Palguda. Rolls it ahead to the outside. Diallo trying to get in behind Bobo and does for the ball. As they tangle on the fall on the far touchline. Diallo has it. Rolls it along the touchline. Gets away with the ball still. Has it now 30 yards out. Working toward the middle. Finally taken down by Bobo. Play goes on. No call is made. Nice midfield. Turning backward goes Perry. Rolls it off in the middle for Novak. Novak approaching the midfield line up the right side. Drops it back in the middle, taken there by Perry. Rolls it to his left for Bonsu. Pass ahead, taken by Palguda on the left wing. They'll make that Burns, dropping it back for Bonsu. Now on the outside to Palguda. Out the midfield for Menyonga. Touching the center circle for Burns. Past the midfield line. Slows it up. He's got 4 players watching him. Finally delivers along the left wing side, but in behind, knocked away by Lancaster. Butte in behind, takes it for the Silverbacks, moves it forward in long service downfield. But it'll be chased down by Palguda, puts it up into the stands. Throw it in the far side for the visiting Silverbacks. The Rochester 30 on the far side. 40th minute, no score. Rhinos have had 10 shots. Silverbacks with 3. On the far wing as the ball is a flag in the air. Foul called on Palguda. Free kick for Silverbacks. 15 yards out off the right wing side. Hayes will move over to take the kick. Don't forget the Rhinos are here on Tuesday night against the Seattle Sounders coming to town. Seattle is here Tuesday night. 7:35 kickoff. Get your Valo value pack at the Paytech Park box office. That's 4 tickets for $24. Appropriately known because of his number. Got Valo number 24. Here's the left-footed service down inside. Harrison up in the air. Comes down with it at his 3. Throws it ahead out of the box for Ben Younger. Rhinos looking for the quick break. Ben Younger long to the left wing side. Running after it goes Lines. Getting to it down to the 35 on the far side. Pushing the ball ahead. Far into the box. Now across along the 18. But that's booted away brought upfield by Butte. Challenging him is Delicata to make that McManus. Drops it back to Hayes. Long as 18. And he'll switch it off on the near side to Rios. Checking back for the ball, 41st minute of Paytech. No score, pass out to midfield, but Novak steps in to then feed it forward to Ball. Turns it back in the middle for Ben Younger. Down to the 35. Watched by McManus, rolls it back to the right foot side. Sneaks it through to Ball from 20 yards out. Left footed, go at it, but he missed the frame. Upper left corner by a good 3 or 4 feet. Anyway, high and wide. So Ball gets another shot away. And a goal kick for the Silverbacks. So again, that ticket package for Tuesday night against Seattle, $24 gets you 4 tickets. The Valo Value Pack. Named in honor of the goalkeeper, Scott Valo, of course, who could possibly be returning in about a month. Which is good news after it was thought he might miss the season. Bobo bringing it forward. Right puts it through midfield, but Novak back to knock it down. The Rhinos recover the ball. Turning around now, Burns long on the right wing side and running onto it goes Ball. He and Bobo. As Ball gets tied up by Bobo, can't get away. Foul is called. And then Bobo boots the ball way up over the end, over the netting and behind and on a play. The referee will have a talk with Bobo about kicking the ball out of the ballpark. Restart for the Rhinos. Near corner of the 18. Caught it about 20 yards out off the right wing side. Now Duda coming across field. 2-man wall at the near end of the 18. Rhinos will want that wall backed up. Referee blows the whistle. Palguda step over and Lines rolls it out top and Younger drops it off for Palguda moving in. No room to shoot. Comes up top again. Ball settling it with the right foot. Chip in. Just goes wide right and not over the end line. Well, the Rhinos had the set piece working, but just not enough room to pull it off. Comes out on the near wing. Tackled away by Lines up into the stands. As he knocked it away from Hayes, but a throw in on the near side for Hayes and the Silverbacks. 43rd minute. Drop back, Hayes has it along the near wing into the middle for Butte. As he's challenged from behind by Ball, he'll drop it back, and Giroux will first time it through midfield. Underneath it, knocked away by Perry, and Burns up in the air on the near side. Hips it across midfield for Ball. That comes loose as Burns tangles up with McManus, and a foul is called, and it'll be a yellow card issued to Burns. Burns having a few words for Butte. So the first caution issued on the night goes to Kevin Burns of the Rhinos here in the 44th minute.
Number 22, Kevin Burns in the 44th minute.
So that's the first yellow we've seen on the night. Free kick for the Silverbacks. Hayes setting the ball, looking around. Watched by Diallo. This is just across the midfield line into Rhino territory. Left foot, Hayes will serve it down inside the 18. A ball knocked down for 15. The shot, they score. Comes loose. Antoniuk spins, puts it back on the right foot inside the left post. And the visiting Silverbacks have drawn first blood. First goal of the night going to Atlanta. And coming here in the 44th minute, as Antoniuk puts it away. So Antoniuk up with the goal to give the Silverbacks a 1-0 lead. Antoniuk coming in tonight leading the USL with assists with 5 and fourth in the league with 11 points. That was 13 points on the season. So he comes up with the goal here tonight as Antoniuk leading Atlanta now with 4 goals on the season.
It's Antoniuk unassisted in the 44th minute.
And no assist. So it's 1-0 now in favor of Atlanta. And once again, the Rhinos give up a late goal at half. Halftime coming up in just a moment. On the attack now brought forward by the Silverbacks. Turned to the outside Yukon, the right wing, being watched there by Bonsu. On the far wing, going to the corner, turned back after it goes Lines along the end line. His roller ahead to midfield for Burns. Or to the 18, and now Burns sends it across midfield. But Bobo hits it right back into Rhino territory. Clock. With a minute of stoppage time, the clock stopped at 45. Brought forward by Burns. Working it forward toward midfield, spinning back with the ball, lays it out on the near side once again. On with it on the right wing. Perry turns it to the outside along the near wing for Novak. Cross midfield, sneaks back toward the middle and takes a look. With the left foot up the right wing side, deep going to the right wing corner is Ball. Here the end line. He is pulled off the ball by Giroux. Got a hold of the jersey. A tug on the jersey will receive the yellow card. So here in the 45th minute, Giroux draws the caution. So the Rhinos will serve it up off the right wing corner. Trailing now 1-0.
A yellow card has been issued to Atlanta's number 26, Omar Giroux in the 45th minute.
Lines will take the kick off the right wing side, about 2 yards off the end line. Set to serve it up. Left-footed kicker and in-swinger. And here comes the service. In the box of the back post. Up they go, headed away and out, and the whistle will stop play. As the keeper McIntosh is down on the pitch. A foul was called. And McIntosh will have the kick. We're awaiting the whistle here for the end of the half. And there is the whistle, and that's going to be it for the half. So the Rhinos wanting to talk things over as they give up once again a late goal. And it seems to be habit forming perhaps a little bit, giving up late goals before the halftime. And we'll see what they have coming out here in the second half of play. So we've completed one half here at Paytech Park. And through one half of play, it is the Atlanta Silverbacks 1, the Rochester Rhinos 0. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Paytech Park tonight, we're at the half, and the Rhinos and the visiting Atlanta Silverbacks are knotted up here as, Atlanta taking a 1-0 lead as we check the first half statistics, which, of course, are brought to you by Time Warner. Get all-in-one, digital cable, digital Roadrunner, and digital phone. One simple package, one low price. That's the all-in-one from Time Warner. Stats in the first half, 1 goal scored late in the half, 44th minute. And the goal was scored by Daniel Antoniuk, his team-leading 4th of the season. Antoniuk with his 4th, scoring unassisted, and a 1-0 lead for Atlanta. That was the only goal scored in that first half of play. Unofficial stats, 13 shots for the Rhinos in the half, 13, and the visiting Silverbacks had 6. Atlanta coming on strong at the end of the half with shots, but Rochester still doubling them up in shots, 13-6. And those are the unofficial stats of the first half. Corner kicks, 3 for the Rhinos and none for Atlanta. In the offsides department, each team 1, and 4 saves registered by the visiting keeper McIntosh, 2 saves for Harrison of the Rhinos. Fouls, 10 against Rochester and 7 against Atlanta. So that was the activity in the first half of play. Again, that's your halftime statistics. We will be back to talk to the captain of the Rhinos in just a moment, who's setting this one out. So we'll continue that in just a moment. Here at Paytech Park, 1-0 in favor of Atlanta at the half of this, with the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Paytech Park in Rochester tonight, absolute gorgeous evening for soccer. And however, the Atlanta Silverbacks with a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos after one half of play. And alongside right now is the man that is seeing his first minutes go by the wayside when he's not on the pitch this year, and that is the captain of the Rhinos, Kenny Burtz. Kenny, you played every minute until this game, so it must be tough to sit this one out, huh?
Yeah, it's definitely hard. You want to be on the field for every minute you can and fighting with your team. And unfortunately, in this league we have that rule. You get 5 yellow cards, you sit out. And, I wasn't very happy about it, but that's part of the game. Unfortunately, you got to deal with it and go on.
Now, if it wasn't for the yellow cards, would you have been able to play tonight? Let me tell everybody, a U.S. Open Cup game took a nasty elbow to the beak and had a broken nose, but would you have still been able to play tonight?
Yeah, I would have played. I actually got it checked out this morning by a doctor, and he said it looked fine. He said, if you get a hit again, it's probably going to get displaced again, but that's just a risk you'd be willing to take. But yeah, if I without the yellow cards, I would have been able to play tonight for sure.
All right, we're not accustomed to seeing you anywhere but out there, so I'm sure it's quite different for you too.
No, absolutely. I had to do this once last year as well, and you don't like doing it, but we gotta. Sometimes it happens, and you gotta just round up the troops and support the guys that are getting the job done on the field now.
What did you see out there in that first half tonight?
Overall, I think we have the majority of the play, and we're controlling for the most part. Unfortunately, we got to capitalize on some of the opportunities we have that look dangerous. I think we need to really try to take it to Atlanta a little more. I think they look a little bit lethargic. But overall we're getting the job done. Unfortunately, we gave away that late free kick, and Atlanta's a big team, and they play very direct. And they play for those type of goals, for knockdowns in the box and try to scrap for one. And unfortunately, that's what happens. And like we were saying, it's hard. You can't be letting up those late goals, and we've tended to do that in the last couple of games. And we got to get that sorted.
Talking with Kenny Birch, the captain of the Rhinos, and out of this one, 1-game suspension. Tonight's intermission interview brought to you by Connolly Printing, the official printer of the Rhinos. Now that means that you should be able to be back on Tuesday night then, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We'll be back Tuesday night and just ready to go, ready to take it to Seattle.
All right, the Rhinos' last game, 40 shots. Tonight, 13 shots in the first half of play. No goals last game until, the 80-something minute. No goals in the first half with all of these shot opportunities. Rhinos are just getting the opportunities but not finishing for some reason.
Yeah, I think they're just struggling to put in the net a little bit, but we're confident. The guys that we have on the field, recently have been scoring goals, and at least we know that we're capable of it. And the biggest thing now is just to be patient for them to come out at the beginning of this half and just to take that first 5-10 minutes, get the first one. Focus on getting that first one, and then the rest of them will come. Confident enough that if we get that first one, you can get more to go in and pull this game out.
Certainly, this is a big game because you want to go back to the top of the table again.
No, absolutely, and we're on a really good streak right now. In the last however many games, I don't remember exactly what it is, but that we have an unbeaten streak. We've either won or tied every game. I think the last 8 games, and especially at home, we're trying to make this place a fortress and make it a place that people don't like to come in and play. And by doing that, you want to be dominating at home and be winning all those games. And we want to keep up the streak that we have going and keep our confidence up as well.
All right, Kenny, thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll be looking for you out there on Tuesday night, all right?
Well, thanks for having me on.
All right. Hope your nose is feeling better. You breathing all right or what?
Yeah, I'm breathing fine. It's sore. Well, everybody else you see right now kind of with the raccoon eyes right now, but we're getting past that.
Yeah, all right. Looks good, though.
Thanks.
All right. Kenny Birch, the Rhinos captain, who is out of this one on a 1-game suspension. We'll continue in a moment from Paytech Park. It's a 1-0 lead for Atlanta at the half. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Paytech Park at the half. The Rhinos trailing Atlanta 1-0 is the score. And stepping in alongside now, Soccer Sam. Well, once again, Sammy, the Rhinos are going to have to come from behind in the second half.
Dad, they totally dominated play, and then boom, one little mistake, and Atlanta scores. It's happening. I don't know what the deal is. We give up in the back. We lose focus. Boom, goal.
Seems like it's a habit for some reason, that late half goal.
Yeah, it's just like once the midfield gives up, the defense is they're going to come back, and they don't come back, and then we give up a goal.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. I was just looking at the list of what's coming up. Seattle is here on Tuesday night. That's a huge game. Next Friday night, the Rochester Rhinos South will be here. That's Carolina Railhawks, better known as. And the following Tuesday, it'll be the U.S. Open Cup game against New England. You talk about 3 huge games coming up.
The biggest games of the season. Next 2 games, they have a special Scott Vallow pack, they're calling it.
Yeah,
the 4 for 24. An amazing deal for you coaches out there. But, yeah, definitely. Hey, Don, let's face it, Tuesday night, it's just, my opinion, that game Tuesday against Seattle, it's Greg's house chance to show Coach Callaway, you should have left me up front. I wanted to play forward. He left to go play in Seattle because they gave him a chance to play up top. He's got a couple goals this year, no big deal. But Friday night is the game. Scotty Schweitzer, Chrissy Canamides, Conley and Dozian. I mean, Frankie Sanfilippo, Johnny the Man of Steel, and in the Stampede just killing them. I can't wait. And then Open Cup Tuesday.
That's right.
Oh.
Now, that game is on Tuesday, not this coming Tuesday, but Tuesday the 10th. And the U.S. national team players will, some players that will be playing for the New England Revolution have played on the U.S. national team.
Definitely. Pat Noonan's going to be here. He's playing in the national team. Matt Reese is in the pool right now. Hopefully Taylor Twellman is not here and he advances in Copa America. But, hey, who knows? He might show up back here and let the player that I remember that was here year one was Ralston. Steve Ralston Purina, I used to call him. He was here year one with Tampa Bay when we beat him in the big Open Cup game. He will be here. Steve Ralston Purina. I can't deal with it, Donnie. I can't deal with it. Sorry.
There's a lot of exciting games coming up. Sammy, I know you'll be here for all of them. I hope everybody else will, too.
I definitely will be here. I'm just going to stay here, man. Next week, I told my wife I'm camping here. I went and bought a little tent here. I'm going to camp out. We got Tuesday, we got Friday, then we got next Tuesday. I'm camping out. I'm out, Donnie.
All right, if you come over here, you'll find Soccer Sam. Thanks for coming up, Sammy. Sam will be back at the post-game show with, I think Joe might show up. He might be back from vacation by the end of the game for the post-game show, so stick around for that with Sam and Joe Giuliano. Second half action coming up. Again, the Rhinos needing to come from behind tonight as they trail 1-0 at the half, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. About to get underway in the second half. Now the Rhinos will shoot at the net to my left, and Harrison will be in goal down to my right. Rochester trailing 1-0 at the half as the Silverbacks scored in the last minute of the first half to take a 1-0 lead. At this point, as I look it over, it does not seem to be any changes for either team on the field right now. Looks like it remains the same. Kickoff to be taken by the Rhinos. Delicott and Diallo move into the center circle for the kickoff. And a reminder, the Rhinos are here Tuesday night. That's the next game. The Seattle Sounders coming to town, and get your Vallo Value Pack at the Paytech Park box office. 4 tickets for $24. Or you can call 454-KICK for more information. Come on out Tuesday night. Getting set now. Diallo and Delicott up front. Whistle blows. Here we go. And the Rhinos take it from the kickoff. Lyons drops it back down to his 25. Perry brings it forward. Now to Bonsu in the middle. A hit for Burns. He looks around, drops it back once again for Bonsu, and turns it to the outside of the near wing for Palguda. Off the left wing side. Drops it back in the middle. Bonsu taking it there. Central defender, Timwa Bonsu, switching to the outside on the right wing. Perry moving up as he'll bring it out toward midfield. Long kick down on the far wing, rolling to the far corner. Giroux back to head it to the outside, and then is booted away in the air and out near midfield. Headed back again, taken by the Rhinos. Ball turned to the head on the far wing, but booted by Giroux up into the stand. So a throw into the far side for the Rhinos from 20 yards out. Throw it along the end of the 18, but knocked away up underneath it. Lyons will drop it back. He dummied the ball through, but there was nobody in the backside. And the ball across midfield, taken by Yuka. On the attack, spinning back, drops it away to the outside for Rios. Into Rhino territory, and along the midfield line, McManus touching it back to the outside for Rios. Pass ahead, Yuka. One touch back again, Rios at midfield to the outside of the far wing for Hayes. Moving up the left side and a long chip down inside. Nodded away by Antoniuk out the far wing. Crossed by Butte down inside, and it's hammered away and out by Bonsu. Back out to the 35, taken by Hayes. He'll draw it to the outside again. Now cross down inside the box. Head ball up over top of the crossbar. Just barely over top and not over the end line. As Yuka got the nod on the ball, but puts it high and lost his shoe doing so. Jumped right out of his shoe. Goal kick for the Rhinos. But certainly a golden scoring opportunity right there for Atlanta. 47th minute. 1-0 lead for Atlanta. Harrison drives it out through midfield. Coming down, one big hop on the ball underneath it. McManus nods it aside and turned off of the far wing again. Laid to the outside for Rios. Cross midfield. Stepping in, Perry runs up the back of Yuka, and the ball knocked out of bounds on the far side. Throw in for the Silverbacks on the Rochester 40. And right away, the Rochester coaches, Galloway and Maslin, send the bench out to start warming up. Rhinos needing to get an attack going here. 48th minute. Atlanta on top, 1-0. Out ahead on the far wing, knocked down there, and out with it Novak. Spins it off toward the far end of the box. Perry back to the outside of the right wing for Novak. Chips it out toward midfield. That's blocked down, popped up in the air, and in underneath it goes Burns. One touch ahead, Ben Younger drops it back. Bonsu up with it. Drawing it forward to the outside of the left wing for Palguda. Approaching the ball to midfield, across midfield, sneaks in behind. After it, Ben Younger. Make that Diallo with the near wing, 20 yards out, switching back to the right foot. Goes to the back post, and the ball is kicked away and on top. Moving up Ben Younger, drawing it off of the left side, Diallo with it. Turning back to the middle, trying to get a shot away. Take it down, play goes on. Hit down on the near side, Palguda up the left wing for Lines. Dropping it back to the near wing, Palguda. High chip, down along the 6 foot, headed away and out of the box, and chased down by Rios. Tips it out toward midfield. Knocked away in the far wing, and it spins out of bounds. Throw in for the Silverbacks. Their own side of midfield. Throw into Hayes. Off the left wing side, approaching midfield. Turns with the right foot across midfield. Knocked away by Antoniuk. Gets turned in behind, and Burns will spin back. Ford drops it off to the keeper. Harrison with the ball. Rolls it outside the box for Burns. 49th minute here at Paycheck. Rhinos trailing 1-0. Certainly had their opportunities in the first half as they outshot the Silverbacks 13-6, but could not finish. Brought away by Novak through midfield. Pass in the middle for Lines. One touch up the right side, but stepping in, Giroux will head it away to midfield. Burns takes it in the center circle. Through midfield and pushing it off on the near side for Palguda, moving up the left wing to the outside for Lines. One touch toward the middle from Ben Younger as he's grabbed from behind by Bobo, and the ball taken away. Play goes on, no foul is called. Long service downfield to the right side. Antoniuk in after it. Bonsu on him. Near corner of the 18. Antoniuk stepping over the ball. Tried the left footed. Bad drive blocked away and now carried off at the 35 by Ben Younger to the outside on the near wing for Lines. Cross midfield. Through ball, but nobody making a run. And it rolls down to the 18 where it's taken by the keeper, McIntosh. Throws it off on the far side to Rios. Out near midfield. He'll spin it to open territory on the left wing, and the ball rolling deep to the corner, chased down by Perry. 50th minute now at Paytech. Perry pass ahead for Burns. Dropping it back once again for Perry from his 25 and pushing it off into the middle for Bonsu. He'll try the near side up the left wing for Palguda. Pass ahead for Lines, turning to the outside, return on the near wing for Palguda across midfield. Slows up, turns back to get away from Hasim, and drops it to his own side of midfield for Bonsu. Along his 40. Pass off to the right. Perry into the center circle. Burns right back to Perry, and now along the 40 once again, off of the near wing. Bonsu across midfield for Palguda. Touching it to the outside, Ben Younger. One touch ahead for ball. Got away from him, but catches up to it, keeps it in. Then he puts it away off the leg of Butte and out of bounds. Throwing on the near side for the Rhinos.
This Rhinos throw-in is brought to you by...
Ball throwing along the 18. Delicate flicks it up in the air underneath it. Diallo tried to settle it there for Lines, but pushed out of the far wing. Far corner of the box. Novak knocks it down for Burns. Getting to it, draws it ahead on the right wing. Turns and looks back in front. Goes to the back post, up in the air. McIntosh will draw it down at his 6. Rolls it out on the near side and across midfield. After it, Antoniuk, but getting to it first is Bonsu, playing it back to the 6 for Harrison. He'll then turn it to the outside of the right wing for Kevin Novak. Drawing it forward, pass ahead in the middle for Burns. As he crosses the midfield line, Burns a long chip up the left wing side, ball down through, inside, and taken away by Giroux at his own 20, and he'll then hammer it out to midfield. Bonsu gets a foot on it, pushing it ahead for Palguda across midfield. Then it's blocked away off of him. Tackled out on the near side for Hasim. On the right side, but getting a foot on it has been Younger. However, got away from him and rolled out. Throwing on the near side for the Silverbacks, their own side of midfield.
As they lead the kids in.
And the throw-in to be taken by Lancaster. On the right wing side, the throw-in off the chest of Yuka. As he settles it there for McManus, turning back to the ball, make that Butte his own side of midfield, and Lancaster, a high chip up the right wing side as the ball rolls to the corner. Getting to it, Yuka. Perry was taken down, and he's still down and holding on to his right thigh. As the whistle stops play, Perry gets up and he'll start to walk along and shake it off. Ball went out over the end line. It's a goal kick for the Rhinos. So Harrison with the right foot will then send it out through midfield. The floater coming down to the center circle. Back in the Rhino territory. Underneath it is Perry. He'll drop it back to Harrison once again. On the right side, a hit for Novak out of the box. Out to the 25, the 30, drawing it ahead near midfield. Novak approaching the midfield line. Drops it back his own side again to Perry. Takes a look upfield. Perry then switching it to the outside of the near wing for Palguda. Off the left wing and across midfield. Sneaks it through. Diallo one touch off the lines. Sends it down backside. Dance after it is Delicate, and he tried to knot it back in front but got away from him. On the far touchline, gets to it to keep it in. Right wing side for 15 yards out. Novak sends it down inside the box. That's headed away and on top. Then Younger tried to settle. Now Ball gets it into the 20. Drops it off of the near side. Palguda left shooting shot in. Off the post! It was tipped in front, hit the post, went out over the end line. Oh, man, was that close. And a corner kick for the Rhinos.
Come on, fans, let's hear you now.
Rochester corner. The shot by Palguda was a low rising shot, went off of a Atlanta player, tipped wide off the far post. Corner kick, Palguda, left foot in, swinger. Backside, knotted out the near wing, settled there by Ball. His cross down inside again is headed away and on top by Giroux. In underneath it, Ben Younger at his 35, dropping it back. Or at the Atlanta 35. Burns back in the center circle for Novak, stepping up. Burns it ahead on the near wing lines, down to the 35, along the near touch line. They'll give it the through ball. Touch to the end line for Perry. Ball after it. Won't get there. Ball run off the ball by Bobo and out over the end line. Goal kick for the Silverbacks. Sponsors of these podcasts include Phoenix Graphics for all your printing needs, Food Link, Abundance Shared, and by the Ferris Group. The best seat in the house is in your Ferris apartment. See them all at ferris.com. Cross midfield as a caution is being issued to Perry. So a free kick now for Atlanta. Cross midfield in Rhinos territory. Yellow in the 55th minute.
Did you, son? Did you really?
1-0 in favor of Atlanta. Having scored back in the 44th. So set to tee it up is David Hayes.
Card has been issued to the Rhinos number 8, Kevin Novak.
All right, Novak gets the yellow. Out top. It's flicked forward out to the 35, but picked up again. Ute drops it back at the midfield line. Bobo on the near side. Pass up the right wing. A hit for Hakeem as he turns back. Being chased there by Lines, and Hakeem will left-footed down inside. That sneaks through. But in behind is Yuka. Offside, and he and Harrison collide heavily. Harrison goes down. Offside flag was in the air. But Hakeem going for the ball in a collision with Harrison as they both went for the ball, which was down on the ground. And Harrison is still down on his knees now, is getting up, but offside against the visiting Silverbacks. All right, Harrison seems to be all right. Ball across midfield, pass ahead, Ben Younger dropping it back once again. Novak on the outside. Drops it down to his 35, taken there by Perry. He'll turn it to the outside of the near wing for Palguda across the midfield line. Roller hit, Delicate checking back, but stealing it away. As taken down McManus, and Delicate did in turn take it down, and a foul was called on Atlanta. 35 yards out for the restart for the Rhinos. Palguda setting the ball. As the players now move down around the 18, start to converge there. 57th minute, 1-0 lead for Atlanta. Palguda low out to the 20, tipped back in front by Ball, flicked to the outside by Diallo. Nobody will get to it. That's at the end line, and finally grabbed onto by McIntosh as Diallo was there. Diallo has a 3-game goal scoring string on the line tonight. Delicate had his 3-game goal scoring string stopped last game. And of course in league play, he continued as he scored another goal on Tuesday night in Open Cup play. Off the left side now, and the attack comes Atlanta. Crossed out in front, blocked away along the 6 by Burns. He'll get to it on the far side of the end line. Rolls it up the wing for Ball, turning back to the outside is bumped. The ball knocked out of bounds off Hayes, so it'll be a throw in for the Rhinos. Ball with a quick throw in, but the ref says, no, you moved too far ahead, so do it all over again. Rhinos will take the throw in. From their own 25, pushed out on the far wing and ball off the right side. Hammers a pass downfield. Diallo trying to stick it behind. Bobo heads to the side. And Sharon turning back for the ball. On the far wing for Hayes. Long service through midfield. In underneath it, Antoniuk pops it up in the air. Turning back toward Bonsu. Rolls it in on the near side for Aaron Lines. Approaches midfield on the near side. Chased across midfield. Turns back to get away from Asim. He'll drop it to his own side of midfield for Palgoda. Cross midfield. Ben Younger right back to Palgoda. Has to turn in behind. Turn back for the ball. Dropping it off along the 40 in the middle for Bonsu. Up toward the midfield line. Taken there by Burns. To the outside in the right wing. Approaching midfield. At the midfield line, long chip ahead. Down the far end of the box. Lines is knocked down after it. Delicate turns it along the far corner, rolling to the end line, but got away out over the end line. And it'll be a goal kick. Goal kick for the Silverbacks.
We're going to see right now.
Rhinos have had several players up warming up for a few moments. We'll see if anybody will be getting ready to check in here. 59th minute at Paytech. 1-0 in favor of Atlanta, having scored back in the 44th minute.
James, your question is coming up on the big board.
Goal kick.
How many teams have won 2 consecutive?
Goal kick for the visiting Silverbacks. All fighting through midfield. Knocked down, step again, Perry in underneath it. Tried to right foot it away, but had his foot blocked, and now the ball on the far wing taken by Rios. Off the Silverbacks into Rhino territory. Goes to the outside for Hayes, and that's knocked away from him by Novak. On the far touchline, getting away, ball. Nifty work there. As ball up with it through the center circle on a pass ahead across midfield for Lines. On the attack come the Rhinos. Lines up the left wing for Diallo. Down to the 20. As is blocked away by Lancaster, rolling to the end line, and Lancaster will just chip it up over the touchline. So a throw in deep in the left wing corner for the Rhinos. They throw in out top, Ben Younger. 25 yards out. Turns it off on the right wing, and Novak moving in underneath it from 35 yards out. Long chip back down inside, but no help there. Headed away out the near end of the box, and Lines will chase it down in the near corner. Watch there. Pass off for Palguda. On the right side, moving in Burns to the near corner of the box and knocked away as he's upended by Yuka, and the ball in the near corner taken by Hakeem, getting a foot on it to tip it up in the stands of Line, so it'll be a throw-in for the Silverbacks from their own 20 in the near side.
Hey fans, after the game tonight, keep us on the field for a
60th minute here at Paytech.
Make sure you enter.
Rhinos still looking for their first goal.
32 and
Throw in on the near side through midfield. Lines will nod it back toward the middle, but knocked down. Cross midfield, one touch in the middle, and Bonsu will drive it across midfield, but headed in the air by Lancaster again, out toward midfield for Antoniuk. With the right foot, hammers it high in the air downfield, and turning backward goes Bonsu. Getting to it down around his 20. Turns it up the near wing, and ahead is Palguda. Pass out to midfield, taken by Burns. Long service downfield, but headed away again by Giroux, and it's hammered out to midfield. Antoniuk knocks it down for Asim. In the Rhino territory, drops it off in the center circle to Butte. Then a pass off on the left side for Rios, and overlapping goes Hayes. Off the left wing down to the Rochester 35, drops it back to Rios once again. On the left wing, looking along into the middle. His chip down inside. Harrison, that's punched up in the air and over top of the crossbar. And Harrison in a collision with his own teammate this time. They're both down. Harrison rolls over and gets up, but the Rochester player is still down. And not sure who that is. Calling for the trainer to come out and take a look at who the Rochester player is. It might be Bonsu. And he's been bumped around a little bit here tonight. Bonsu still down. 62nd minute here at Paytech. 1-0 is the lead for the Atlanta Silverbacks. Other sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include the Distillery, now open in Greece at Ridge Road and 390. By Dodge, grab life by the horns, that's Dodge. And by Connors and Ferris, workers' comp and Social Security attorneys, call 262-COMP. Looks like we'll be having some substitutions coming up here in a couple of moments. For the Rhinos, looks like Martinez getting ready to come on, perhaps Ambersley. Bonsu rolled out over the end line, being attended to by the Rhinos trainer, who is, looks like maybe had the wind knocked out of him in that collision with Harrison. 63rd minute. Rhinos a man down at the moment. Bonsu getting those legs stretched out by the Rhino trainer, Dave DiPasquale. Now he's sitting up. Harrison's still waiting. The referee just looking downfield. Now Bonsu is all right. He's up and walking it off, but he'll have to walk around the near side of the field to get back on. Cross midfield. That's flighted through. Ball after it off the chest. Turner's trying to get away from McManus, but grabbed onto. Foul is called. Free kick for the Rhinos. Far side of the field and across midfield. It'll be Menyonger on the restart from 45 yards out. Now he's just going to drop it there, and moving up now is Perry. Bonsu's walking around the outside along the near touch line. He'll approach midfield, trying to get back on the pitch. Off of the middle for Novak, but bounced away and taken back by the Silverbacks. Turned to the outside of the far wing, and Rios after it. Off of the middle, pass ahead. Antoniuk spinning it back. Push to the outside of the near wing, and moving up on the ball at midfield is Lancaster. Serves it long on the right wing side. Bounced down near the end of the 18 and chased down by Burns. Burns it off to the left foot side. Drives it out to midfield. Checking back Delicott. He's pushed off the ball, but able to tip it loose for Menyonger. Spinning back to the left foot and rolls it to the outside on the near wing for Lyons at midfield. Drops it out there for Palguda. Now Bonsu is back on. So the Rhinos back to full strength on the near wing, and Diallo drawing it down to the 20 on the near side. Turning back, looking, he'll then take the shot down inside. One hopper to the 6 into the midsection of McIntosh, and he holds on. The Rhinos now leading at shots 15-9, but trailing on the board 1-0. Rios on the left wing. Burns back, looks around. The outside, Hayes, and his own 35 will deliver through midfield. Perry stepping in, but that's knotted away and taken down by Antoniuk. Pass ahead for Yuka. Drops it back and approaching now, moving up across midfield is McManus. Looking to sneak it through to Butte. Spinning around back to the left foot. 20 yards out, pass on the middle. Look down, and Burns, Bonsu, then will kick it out to midfield. Center circle, taken by Delicott. Giving it off to his right. Cross midfield, here's ball in the attack. To the 25, looks at the outside, giving it off now Diallo at the far end of the box, looking for a cross, blocked away by Bobo on the far side, out of bounds, throw in deep in the far corner for the Rhinos. Hammersley set to come in. Hammersley coming in, and it'll be Menyonger checking off.
Rochester Rhinos.
Here in the 65th minute.
Number 21, Mike Hammersley.
So Hammersley is in.
Johnny Menyonger.
And Menyonger is out.
This substitution for your Rochester Rhinos.
And then also Perry is out. Martinez is in for the Rhinos.
Replacing number 12, Jason Perry.
All right, so a midfielder replacing a defender. And a forward replacing a midfielder. So the Rhinos moving a little more strength up front. Trying to get back in this game. Headed along, knocked down at the near side. And on the near wing, chased down by Lyons. Left foot a kick in, but blocked away off of McManus and out on the near side, or make that off of Hassim. Throw in for the Rhinos on the near wing. Down near the end line to Martinez. As he looks around, being watched closely. And it's booted away and out of bounds on the near side. And it'll be a throw in deep in the left wing corner for the Rhinos. Palguda with a throw into Lyons. Right back to the outside for Palguda. Challenge there, double teamed, able to tip it away on the near side for Burns. It's Palguda in the middle for Hammersley. Drops it back near midfield, and in underneath it is Novak. Novak turning it to the outside of the right wing for Ball. Spinning back, watched closely by Rios, who comes back and knocks the ball away. Rios has it, turns it to the outside for Bobo, but in a collision with Novak, ball knocked out, throw in for the Rhinos. Novak quickly on the throw into Hammersley. Burns chased to the end line, pushed to the outside by Bobo. Turned back to the far wing, drops it away on the outside. Novak with it there, gets away from Rios. Tackled again, ball knocked out off of Rios. Another throw in for the Rhinos. Out to the 35 for Burns in the far wing. Rhinos trailing 1-0. We're in the 67th minute. A pass intercepted by the Silverbacks and brought away by Atlanta. Give and go, long cross on the near side for Hassim on the attack. Heads it forward, trying to get in underneath it. Coming back to the bottom of him is Martinez. Ball knocked away by Lyons, and the Rhinos recover. Martinez brings it ahead out to the 35 in the middle. Looks around, drops it off for Novak on the right wing side. Approaching midfield to the outside. Ball trying to drop it back, but that's booted away and out, so it'll be a throw-in on the far side for the Rhinos at midfield. 68th minute. Rhinos trailing 1-0. Bonsu along his 35. Alguda on the near side, up the left wing to midfield for Lines. With the left foot, sends it downfield. Headed away by Lancaster, out toward midfield again. Off the toe of Embersley, and Burns pass, blocked away on the near side, and out throw-in for the Rhinos, 35 yards out on the near side. Lines with the throw-in, goes short to Embersley, but bumped away, and the ball again kicked out. Another throw-in for the Rhinos on the near side. Be taken by Lines. Throw in, short to Embersley, right back to Lines on the left wing, on the near touchline. Puts it off the foot of Butte, and out, throw in this time for Palgoda. Substitution coming up for the Silverbacks. Moore is in, and Yuka is out in the 69th minute. 69th minute. Yuka out, and Justin Moore, 24-year-old from Lilburn, Georgia, saw time with FC Dallas in the MLS last year. Alguda with a throw-in, going out top to Burns. Drops it to his own side of midfield. For Bonsu, into the center circle. Pushing it ahead across midfield. A long chip up the left wing side. Lines in underneath it. Drawing it back to the right foot. Pushing it out to the 35 for Palgoda. Sneaks it through to Martinez. Ray Martinez to the outside. Line trying to get to it. Lancaster able to play it away out of bounds on the near side. Throw in deep in the left wing corner for the Rhinos. About 5 yards out, and Palgoda will take the throw in. Goes out top to the 30 for Burns. Left footed. Go at the back post. McIntosh backpedaling. Grabs it out the far end of the 6 and will bring it away.
Soccer mom of the game. Fun team in the Rhinestones.
McIntosh.
It's Colleen in section 101. Blanchard Flores, the unique store where
fakes a throw, still has it from his 18. High volley kick out through the center circle. Burns in underneath it. One touch across midfield, but nodded away. Antoniuk taking it at the red line for the Silverbacks. Turns it to the outside. On the far wing, drop back toward the middle. Antoniuk plays it off on the outside. Now the Silvers through midfield, but the Rhinos get to it. However, pass ahead, sneaking behind Embersley and carried off by the Silverbacks. Off the left wing side, deep to the far corner. Cross in front, blocked out over the end line. It'll be a corner kick for Atlanta. First corner of the match for the Silverbacks. Corner off the left wing side will be taken by Rios. 71st minute. Another substitution coming up for the Rhinos. Danny Kramer getting set to come in. It's been a while since we've seen him. Rios to take the kick. Low into the box, headed away and out top. In underneath it, Martinez nods to the side. Continuing on, Ball will lay it out on the right wing, and Martinez running onto it. Cross midfield, turning it up the right wing. As he takes a look at the middle, looking for the through ball, but getting back to intercept is Hayes. And the Silverbacks take it away again. Out to midfield. On the far wing, knocked down to the midfield line. Rios pass along the line for Antoniuk. Switching it back, drops it off. His own side of midfield, McManus rolls it out on the near wing and carried ahead by Lancaster. On the near side for Moore at midfield. Pass to the midfield line for Rios. Looks back toward the middle, enters the center circle, and his pass off and a give and go. Blocked away, and the Rhinos have it. Stepping up, ahead with it, Ambersley. On the attack, down to the 35, rolls it off to his right. It's Diallo, slips it back on the near wing, in underneath of Martinez. Turns off of the ball, spinning 35 yards out. As a look at it, the middle turns to the right foot again. He'll roll it ahead for Ball. One touch, and Diallo to the outside of the far wing, but stepping in underneath it is Hassim. Gets the left foot on it, and he puts it way out on the far side and out of bounds. Throw in for the Rhinos across the way. Well, it'll be a substitution coming up for the Rhinos. Coming off will be Lines. Aaron Lines is out and Kramer is in. In the 72nd minute. Lines out, Kramer in. Kramer hasn't played a whole lot of late. Played only one of the last 7 games coming into tonight. Off the right side, Embersley delivers down in front. Diallo head ball up in the air. McManus comes down with it at his 6. Make that McIntosh the keeper. So McIntosh with the ball, just inside of his 18. Couple of bounces, and now a volley kick since a high floater coming down through the center circle. Blocked ahead of midfield, checking back. Ambersley runs up the back of Rios, and the foul is called. Rios still sitting down on the pitch. There'll be another substitution coming up. Burns is out. Bolton is in here in the 73rd minute.
Rochester Raging Rhinos. Entering the game, number 28, Josh Bolton.
73rd minute.
Replacing number 22, Kevin Burns.
So Bolton is in. Burns is out. Burns playing an excellent game. That's 4 subs. The Rhinos have available still for substitution Aloisi and Scheifele. Going to the end line, out over the end line, a goal kick for the Rhinos. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include Moliere Chevrolet Buick. They always say yes. Time Warner, get all in one. Digital cable, digital phone, and Roadrunner. One package, save hundreds. And by Free Time Magazine, Western New York's art and entertainment guide. Armors 35, Palguda rolls it off into the middle, taken there by Bonsu. To the outside on the right wing and drawing it forward, Novak. Long service up the right wing and into Atlanta territory. Silverbacks turning back for the ball on the far side as it skips out, and a throw in for the Silverbacks from their own 20 on the far side. Ahead, tipped across midfield. Big bounce of the ball, flicked forward by Antoniuk, but in behind is recovered by the Rhinos. Palguda spinning back. On the near wing, up the left wing side for Kramer. Turns back toward the middle, rolls it across midfield, but tackled away by McManus. Kramer turning back for it again. Drops it off, Bonsu. From his 35 to the outside of the right wing for Novak. Time now will become a factor for the Rhinos as we're into the 75th minute, and Rochester still trailing 1-0. 10 down inside the 18, and up with it is the keeper, McIntosh. I think offside flag anyway. Offside against the Rhinos.
All right, Rhino fans.
Free kick for Atlanta from their own 30.
Please welcome back Cotton Eye Joe.
Set to go now. The defender, Jaroun, will take the kick. Hospital to the far wing and knocked down there. Turn to the outside. Novak spinning back with the ball. Rolls it ahead up the right wing side. Ball checking back. That's pushed along the far wing. Tackled away momentarily. Bolton able to finally tip it away for Bonsu. The Rhinos have it. Palguda back inside of his 18. Turns it out on the near wing now for Kramer. And up the left wing side to Martinez. One touch across midfield for Diallo on the near wing. Down to the 35 to the 30. Chased from behind by McManus. Tripped up and taken down. And the foul is called. This will be a yellow card issued to McManus. Caution to McManus in the 76th minute. Rhinos with the free kick 20 yards out off the left wing side.
Number 12, Tony McManus in the 76th minute.
Ambersley to take the kick. Two-man wall at the near end of the 18 for the Silverbacks. Ambersley is set. Serves it up to the back end of the 6, headed up in the air, back out of the near side, underneath the McManus. Toes it forward, coming up with the ball, and turns it to the outside of the near wing for Butte. Approaching midfield, ball blocked away by Ambersley, can't keep it in as it got away from him and rolls out. Throw in on the near side once again for the Silverbacks. From their own 35 on the near side. Lancaster stepping up for the throw-in. Cross midfield. That went through, but Palguda gets to it. And it's knocked away by Moore. And turning back goes Palguda again. Off the left foot, puts it off of Moore and out. Throw in on the near side. For the Rhinos out near midfield. Flicked across midfield by Delicott. But the Silverbacks get to it again. Moving up Palguda first time across midfield. Up they go. Another collision coming down the midfield line. Kramer running into Moore. That's knocked down to the line in. Taken away by the Silverbacks. Pushed to the outside for Hakeem on the far wing. Bring it forward. Novak grabbing on, but Hakeem gets away. Cross along the 6. Down inside. Ball knocked down to the end line. Rolls out over the end line. And it is a corner kick. Corner kick for the Silverbacks as the Rhinos dodge a bullet right there. 9972 the attendance tonight. 9,972. Good crowd on hand here at Paytech. Corner kick from the left wing side. Atlanta still leading 1-0. Set for the service. And the whistle stopping play. What's the call here? What's going on? Oh, I see Rochester player down on one knee. And the Rhinos trainer is being called over to take a look at who that player is. I think it's Novak. Hobbling along the end line. He'll be helped by Dave DiPasquale, the Rhinos trainer, out the end line. And DiPasquale is signaling over to the bench that might need to change it up. So Aloisi is being called over. The Rhinos will look for a substitution here. At the moment, a man down. 79th minute, corner kick off the left wing side, high through the box. Headed up in the air, and now a foul is called. So the Rhinos will have a free kick. Harrison turns it to the outside of the near wing. The Rhinos will have a substitution coming up. As checking in is Aloisi, and out is Novak in the 79th minute.
Entering the game is number 3, Chris Aloisi. Replacing number 8, Kevin Novak.
So the Rhinos now back to full strength. Novak walking along, and he's been out injured. Oh, we certainly hope that isn't returned. A leg injury that was bothering him. Give and go up the right side. Butte approaching the end line. 80th minute now along the end line as he is knocked off the ball, and it rolls out over the end line, and a goal kick for the Rhinos.
Where we call home, sponsored by Nottingham Realtors, moving you from anywhere to anywhere.
Harrison placing the ball at his 6 for the goal kick. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include Nottingham, Rochester's full-service realtor, by Perry's Ice Cream, Life's a bowl of Perry's.
From Aberdeen, Scotland.
Flip through midfield, out of the near wing, in underneath it. Kramer nods it forward, back heel by Diallo up the left wing side, but getting to it first, Bobo for the Silverbacks will spin and put it up into the stands. Throw it to the near wing for the Rhinos. 35 yards out, taken by Kramer. Throwing back on the near side. Pelguda moving up to the 35, and a pass off in the middle for Ambersley. Drops it off for Bolton. Chips it down to the 18. And the ball knocked down along the 18 will be carried off and out by Hakeem. On the left wing, will then send it through midfield. In underneath it is Bonsu turning back for the ball. Bonsu rolls it off on the near side. Pelguda moving up the left wing and again across midfield. Turns it to the outside of the near wing for Kramer. On midfield, switching it into the center circle for Ambersley. Turns and looks upfield, chases behind. Looking for the through ball, feeds it ahead for Delicat. Turns back to the right foot, trying to get a shot away. Chip, and he puts it high and wide to the right, out over the end. A goal kick for the Silverbacks.
Goals, Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Goal kick. Rhinos leading in shots, 16-11. However, Atlanta still leading on the scoreboard, 1-0. And that Atlanta goal coming right at the end of the half, the 44th minute. Giroux, the defender, to take the kick with the right foot. Sends it out through midfield, comes off of the far wing, then headed in the air by Aloisi, and underneath it, Martinez knocks it down as he gets tangled up, and a foul is called on Martinez, so a free kick at midfield for the Silverbacks. 82nd minute, time running fast now. As the Rhinos needing a goal, they get back in this one, trailing 1-0.
Chronicle at your scenes near you, or subscribe by calling 2325.
Long service down to the 18. All knocked down on top, trying to spin with his back to the net. Antoniuk turns it to the outside, gets a return pass in front. Antoniuk with the right foot in, but that's put wide. Way wide out over the end line. Goal kick for the Rhinos. Rochester here on Tuesday against the Seattle Sounders. Tuesday night, Seattle coming to town. Right-footed kick through midfield by Harrison. Headed back into Rhino territory. Rios in underneath it, nods to the side, and Pelguda turning back to the ball at his own 35. Looks on the near wing and a chip through midfield off the left wing side. Up in the air they go, knocked down to the 18. Bobo nods to the side. Lancaster on the near wing. With the right foot, volleys it out to midfield. Locked off Antoniuk. Kramer had it, but that's then tipped away from him. Carried out on the near side, approaching midfield is McManus. Kramer chasing him from behind as they tie up. Kramer going down. Ball rolls away off the foot of McManus and out. Throw in for the Rhinos. Helguda with a throw in to Bonsu. Long is 25. Turns it off on the right wing side for Aloisi. There's Aloisi pass to the outside of midfield for Martinez on the attack. Up the right wing. Looks back toward the middle. Drops it off at the midfield line for Aloisi. His pass, Bolton returns it to Aloisi on the outside of the right and pass along the far touchline to Martinez. Brings it ahead down to the 25, down to the 15, looking for the cross in front, down along the 6, headed up in the air, comes on the near side. Embersley roller in, it's grabbed, diving to his left side was the goaltender McIntosh. He got the one-time shot from Embersley and holds on, diving to his left, comes up with a huge save. Big save right there by McIntosh. Out of the near wing, Lancaster drives it through midfield. Turning back goes Helguda. Nodded up in the air as the ball rolls to the end line. Left-footed away by Bonsu. In underneath it, Butte nods it off in the middle for Rios. Pass on the left wing side, knocked down by Aloisi. And the Rhinos will come away. On their own 35, turning it upfield is Martinez. Now the 84th minute. Martinez to the outside for Aloisi. Slows it up. His return pass to Martinez was in behind it. Spins, has the ball, now gets away. Ray Martinez drawing it down to the 20. Fire to the box, dumped. He's knocked down. No, the referee overrules. The linesman has made the call of the foul, and play goes on. And everybody in the stands are pretty unhappy with the referee. On away across midfield by the Silverbacks. Turned off in the center circle. After it, Moore, long chip on the right wing side. In underneath it, Lancaster. Heads it back in the middle, but in underneath it is Kramer to bring it away. Rolls it off in the middle, brought ahead by Bolton. 84th minute, long up the left wing side for Diallo. Down to the 20, near end of the 18-yard box. Diallo turning it back to the right foot, drops it off to the outside ball. Chip along the 6, down inside, hit ball, it's delicate. Trying to get turned for the shot, can't do it. It's tipped out the far end of the box, chased down by Martinez. Watch 1v1 with Butte. Martinez turning it back inside, headed away out over the end line, and a corner kick for the Rhinos. Rochester corner.
It is time to get loud. It is time to let them hear you.
This off the right wing side. The corner to be taken by Helguda.
Corner kick.
Helguda, left-footed in, swinging kick. Serves it up. Out top. That's headed away out of the box on the near side. Stepping in underneath it, Kramer. But can't control. Brought away by Rios. So the Silverbacks. Out of the near side, spins back, gives the ball off. Out the right wing, here comes Antoniuk, being chased from behind by Bolton. On the wide side, Hakeem all alone. Pass through along the 18, moving in Hakeem. Got away from him, never got a shot off. Turned to the end line, Hakeem after it. Out the far end of the 18-yard box, dropping it back for Hayes. As he looks through the pass, and stepping in, Bonsu just hammers it up into the stands. Well, the Rhinos... lucky right there is the pass from Antoniuk to Hakeem, who moved in off the left wing side pretty much all alone, but the ball got away from him. Throw in for the Silverbacks, back out of the center circle. We got an Atlanta player down on the pitch, and up inside the Rochester penalty area, Antoniuk is still sitting down. So the Silverbacks wasting as much time as possible. 86th minute, and the Rhinos need one to get back in this game. Trying to salvage at least 1 point here tonight. Needing a goal in a big way. Player getting up off the pitch at center field is Butte. Antoniuk is already up. So is that Butte or McManus? Will make his way over here. Looks like it's Butte. All right, 87th minute now on the clock. Butte running it off. All right, here's McManus ready to go. There he comes over. Now he sits down. Knocked away and out of bounds. Throw in for the Rhinos. So at the moment, the Silverbacks a man down. Brought in by Embersley. Turning to the outside. Rolls it off on the near wing for Kramer. Moving up the left wing. Approaching midfield. Kramer Into the center circle, Ambersley. Challenge from behind. Grabbed as he's triple team, knocked away, and stepping in is Kramer. Comes away with the ball. Rolls it off the ball. Turns it ahead to the outside to the end line after Martinez. But getting to it, McIntosh at the far end of the 18. Comes up with the ball in one hop. McIntosh controlling his area pretty well. With the right foot. Pounds it high in the air and through midfield. Bolton in underneath it, nods it back down to the 20, where it's taken by Palguda. And on the left wing, Palguda cross midfield. Stepping in underneath it, Diallo. Turning back, has it 40 yards out, drops it off at midfield for Palguda. Across midfield again. Now he'll send it down in the middle, but that's headed away by Hayes on top. Aloisi underneath it for the Rhinos. 35 yards out. Goes to the outside for Martinez. Ball on the far wing, spins up the touchline. And the ball knocked away and out by the Silverbacks. Throw in for the Rhinos. Martinez throw into the end line. Moved it away over the touchline on the far side. Throw in deep in the corner for the Rhinos. Taken by Delicate. Going out top. Aloisi has it. 25. Turns back to the right foot side to get away from McCain. Now a long cross down inside the 6. Headed up in the air. In underneath the ball. Trying to settle it. Comes out the near wing and Bolton after it. Drops it ahead out of the 30. Palguda in the middle for Ambersley. Taken down and the ball rolls in and knocked away by the Silverbacks. Popped up in the air. Coming out around the 47 again. It's Bunsen and nodded forward. However, picked up again by the Silverbacks and behind the play. Atlanta has a player down. As the ball across midfield, finally tipped out of midfield by Moore. And the referee back to take a look at the injured Atlanta player. 89th minute, time running out on the Rhinos. And every play now, Atlanta has a player injured. 89th minute. And the Rhinos needing a goal in a huge way. Don't forget, tomorrow night here, the Rhinos women's team will be here tomorrow night. Come on out. The Rhinos women's team will be in action here at Paytech Park tomorrow night. Then the Rhinos will be here on Tuesday night against the Seattle Sounders. Tuesday night. Seattle coming to town. 7:35 is kickoff time. Don't forget to get your Battle Value Pack at the Paytech Park box office. 4 tickets for $24.
Check out Downtown Minuteman Press, located in
or the Battle Value Pack.
As a reminder, the clock will stop at the 90-minute mark. Stoppage time will be kept on the field. Once again,
player is up, being helped off, and this time it's Butte. Last time it was McManus. Now we'll get this one underway again here in a minute as the time continues to tick off the clock. Now Butte turns, wants right back out. Throw in Palguda along the near side. Lancaster back, will drive it through midfield into Rhino territory after Bunsu. Heads it away, Palguda, one touch off to Bolton. Out down to the right side, Aloisi away. Pass up the right wing at 4 minutes of additional time, and the Rhinos have 4 minutes to try and come up with a goal here. Martinez on the right side. Sneaks it ahead of the far wing, Aloisi along the far touchline. Pushing it ahead, but pushed it too far ahead. And Hayes then will drive it away across midfield. Getting to it is Bonsu.
The fourth official has indicated there will be 4 minutes.
Off into the center circle, Palguda approaching midfield. Long service ahead, but headed away again and controlled by the Silverbacks. Sent through midfield by Butte, and turning back for it go the Rhinos. Palguda off to Bonsu on the right side. Long chip ahead. Moving in underneath the Diallo. Flicks it down inside the 18. 2 bounces out to grab it. Here's McIntosh up with the ball. He still has not given up a goal this season. Just his second appearance in goal, but he had a shutout in his first game. This is his second game and looking for a second shutout. Through midfield. Ball knocked away, Antoniuk, but tipped it aside, and Aloisi has it for the Rhinos. Turning it off on the near wing, and Palguda moving up the left wing side. Approaching midfield, chips it ahead on the near side. Kramer flicks it forward. In underneath it, ball couldn't get to it. That's hammered up in and through the stands by Giroux. A quick throw in for the Rhinos on the near side. Ball will take the throw in off the left wing. Substitution for the Silverbacks. Rios coming out.
This substitution for the Atlanta Silverbacks.
And in will be Quealy here in the 90th minute.
John Quealy, replacing number 11, Rodrigo Rios.
So Rios is out. Quealy is in. in the 90th minute, and the ball throw-in on the near side for ball of the Rhinos. We're in injury time, and the Rhinos need a goal. Trailing 1-0. Ball high throw-in coming down in the near end of the 6th, then headed away out over the end line. Corner kick for the Rhinos.
All right, Rhino fans.
Corner off the left wing side. Ball will serve it up.
Rhinos corner kick.
John Ball with the right foot. Low roller out top. Ambersley settles it off the right toe. Turns it back to the outside for Ball along the near wing. He's trying to cross in front, but blocked away, and the ball carried away by Hayes. Upfield, here come the Silverbacks. 3-on-1, back is Aloisi. Hayes lays into open territory. Moving in a breakaway opportunity. Moving in Quealy. Hey, lost the ball. Now he rolls it in and he scores. Quealy puts it in by the right leg of Harrison inside the left post. Quealy comes in. Give away. It's now 2-0 Atlanta. Goal scored in stoppage time by Atlanta as Quealy picks up his first goal of the season. And Hayes will get the assist.
With the assist to number 5, David Hayes. That's Quealy from Hayes in stoppage time.
So now 2-0 in favor of Atlanta. And the Rhinos tonight will be dropping their first home game of the season. They have been unbeaten on the home surface this season with 3 wins and 2 ties. And it's the first time in a long time that Atlanta will beat the Rhinos. Just a couple of minutes to go now. Down is flicked down inside the 18 by Delicott. Moving in, Delicott trying to turn it to the left foot. Spinning back to the right side. Couldn't get the shot away. And out the far end of the box. Chased down by Martinez. On the right wing side, turning it back to the left foot. Serves it up down inside the 6. Head ball in, but that went wide and rolling out over the end line. Goal kick for Atlanta. Goal kick here for the Silverbacks. Perhaps a minute or so to go in injury time as the Silverbacks have now taken a 2-0 lead. Giroux, the defender, taking his time. The referee over having a few words about, come on, speed it up here. So Giroux placing the ball with the right foot. He'll then send it out into the center circle. Bolton stepping up, nods it to the outside of the right wing for Martinez. Trying to get away from Moore. Brings it down to the 35. Knocked away and out. Throw in on the far side for Martinez. And the Rhinos. Throw in off of the middle for Ambersley. 25 yards out. Turns back to the right foot, but that one got away. And the whistle blows, and this one is history. So Atlanta stops their losing streak. The Rhinos have their winning string or unbeaten string snapped. As the final score here tonight at Paytech Park, the Atlanta Silverbacks 2 and the Rochester Rhinos nothing. A big surprise here is the Rhinos coming out on the short end of a 2-0 score, and the Atlanta Silverbacks coming away with the victory. That makes things even a little tighter for the Rhinos. All right, final score again for Paytech. The Rochester Raging Rhinos defeated by Atlanta. Final score, the Silverbacks 2 and the Rhinos nothing. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Back at Paytech Park tonight, well, the Rhinos have been hoping and certainly looking for a victory here tonight to move to the top of the table, but it does not happen as the Rhinos come out on the wrong end of a 2-0 score to the Atlanta Silverbacks. Well, Atlanta coming in and have not won in 6. The Rhinos have not lost in 7, but the tables are turned here tonight. How often does that happen? It happens very often. So the Silverbacks coming away with a win tonight. Atlanta now on the season, a 4-5-4 record with 3 points. They have 16 points and have moved past Miami and Puerto Rico into a playoff spot at the moment. So that's 16 points for the Atlanta Silverbacks. The Rhinos remaining in second place at the moment in USL First Division with 24 points, 1 point behind Vancouver, but once again back to 3 games in hand for the Vancouver Whitecaps. And that's those games in hand that, well, they're still out there looming in the distance. So the Rhinos coming out of the short end of the 2-0 score. Let's take a look now at the post-game statistics brought to you by the Farish Group. The best seat in the house is in your Farish apartment. See them all at Farish.com. Looking at the scoring in the game, first goal and what turned out to be actually the only goal that was needed on the night, the game-winning goal coming in the 44th minute, right before the end of the first half, and the Silverbacks scoring first, and this again was what turned out to be the game-winning goal. Watch by Diallo. This is just across the midfield line into Rhino territory. Left foot, Hayes will serve it down inside the 18. A ball knocked down for 15. The shot, they score. Comes loose, Antoniuk spins, puts it back on the right foot inside the left post, and the visiting Silverbacks have drawn first blood. So that again only a minute before the end of the half, Antoniuk coming up with his team-leading fourth goal of the season to give the Silverbacks a 1-0 lead, and that was all they needed, as that one turned out to not only be the game's first goal, but the game-winning goal on the night. So Antoniuk scores in the 44th minute. We moved into the half, and Rhinos trying to get back into this one, but the late-game heroics would not happen tonight. As the Silverbacks coming back, of course, the Rhinos pressing and pushing up all they could, but the Silverbacks came up with the ball and played it downfield, and they had like a 3-on-1 break or something, and finally a 1-0 break for Quealy, who had just checked into the match. He breaks away and puts it by Harrison, and Quealy coming up with the goal, his first of the season, as he puts the icing on the cake here tonight at Paytech. Quealy scoring his first, and the assist going to former Rhino David Hayes, and it ends up 2-0 as that was the last goal of the night. So there's the final scoring. Unofficial stats, Rhinos out shooting Atlanta 18-12. Again, the Rhinos with a lot of shots, but unable to finish. 18-12, the shots in favor of the Rhinos. Corner kicks, Rochester had 6, and Atlanta had 2 offsides, 2 against each team. And in the saves department, the goalkeeper, McIntosh, had an outstanding game on the night. McIntosh played very well in goal for Atlanta, had 6 saves. Harrison credited with 3 saves for the Rhinos. And in fouls, it was 13 fouls against Rochester and 10 against the Atlanta Silverbacks. So there's your unofficial stats on the night. Let's take a look at these awards now. First of all, the Paytech Call of the Game, brought to you by Paytech, personalizing personal communications. Right wing side from 15 yards out. Novak sends it down inside the box. That's headed away and on top. Then Younger tried to settle. Now Ball gets it into the 20. Drops it off of the near side. Pelgu to left shooting shot in. Off the post! It was tipped in front, hit the post, went out over the end line. Oh, man, was that close. And a corner kick for the Rhinos. So close for the Rhinos, trying to even it up, but hits the post and goes wide, and that is the Paytech Call of the Game. Pellegrino's sub of the game tonight. Selection brought to you by Pellegrino's. Always fresh, always fast, and always delicious. Got to go with Mike Ambersley as the sub of the night, as he came in and created one opportunity, which he was robbed by Martinez, or by the goalkeeper McIntosh. Nice shot, a one-timer by Ambersley off the left foot, not diving to his left, coming up with the ball as McIntosh, the keeper. So Ambersley, the sub of the game tonight. Power trip player of the game, I'm going to go with the keeper for Atlanta, and that being McIntosh, who had an outstanding game. His second shutout in 2 games played this year. Ryan McIntosh, the 24-year-old from Cooper City, Florida, had an outstanding game, and he will be the player of the game, which is brought to you by Power Trip. Taste the power. And tonight's Excellus play of the game, brought to you by Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, helping you achieve your goals. Martinez brings it ahead down to the 25, down to the 15, looking for the cross in front, down along the 6, headed up in the air, comes up the near side. Eversley roller in, it's grabbed, diving to his left side was the goaltender McIntosh. He got the one-time shot from Eversley and holds on, diving to his left, comes up with a huge save. And a huge save it was. The Rhinos would have tied it up on that one, and that was the one I was just talking about a moment ago with Eversley's shot, as the save by McIntosh was perhaps the save of the game, and it certainly was a huge play, the play of the game. Again, brought to you by Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield. So there's the awards for tonight. The Rhinos coming out of the short end of a 2-0 score against the Atlanta Silverbacks, and Rochester now will get ready for Seattle coming in on Tuesday. Boy, there's some big games coming up, folks. Get your tickets and be here for the next, at least the next 3 games. Coming up Tuesday night, the 3rd, Seattle Sounders in town. Get your Battle Value Pack at Paytech Park box office. 4 tickets for $24. Don't forget about next Friday. The Rhinos will be hosting the Rhinos South, which is now known as the Carolina Railhawks. That'll be Friday the 6th at 8:05. Don't miss the special appearance by Gary the Happy Pirate. Come on and enjoy live music starting at 7. And again, the Battle Value Pack available. 4 tickets for $24. Then on the Tuesday, the 10th of July, the Rhinos take on U.S. national team players such as Taylor Twellman and Pat Noonan, and they face the New England Revolution. Again, that's Tuesday, July 10th, 7:30 in the third round of the U.S. Open Cup. And, of course, for any of these games or you need information or have questions, you can always call 454-KICK to get the information. But, of course, tomorrow night, Rhinos women's team will be here at Paytech Park. Come on out and watch the women tomorrow night, then be here Tuesday as the Rhinos host Seattle Sounders. Coming up next, post-game show with Joe Giuliano and Soccer Sam. Joe, after having the night off, getting ready to take your phone calls. As we're used to him having the night off, though, he takes half the year off. He doesn't really work to start out with. I don't know how he gets paid so well, but for doing nothing, but that's him. Anyway, he'll be along to take your phone calls along with Soccer Sam in just a moment, so stick around for more. Final score here at Paytech. Tonight, the Atlanta Silverbacks surprising the Rhinos 2-0 the final score. I'm Don Stevens. Thanks for being along, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
All right, soccer fans, and welcome back to Paytech Park. Joe Giuliano with Soccer Sam. It's time for the free time out-of-town scoreboard and standings. If you're just tuning in, final score here at Paytech Park. Atlanta 2, Rochester 0. A bit of a surprise result. The first loss at home for the Rhinos this year. Also out of town, Montreal just a point behind the Rhinos. They've got 23 points after defeating Puerto Rico 1-0 tonight. Antonio Ribeiro scoring in the 90th minute for Montreal tonight. 1-0 winners over Puerto Rico. So they've got 23 points. The Rhinos now have a record of 6 wins, 4 losses, and 6 ties. They've played 16 games, and they have 24 points. 16 games, the most played in the USL First Division. Atlanta has got 16 points now, 4 wins, 5 losses, and 4 ties. And they move up ahead of Miami and Puerto Rico, with the Islanders losing tonight to Montreal. That's a look at the free time out-of-town scoreboard and standings. When we come back, it's the Heineken Direct call-in show. Soccer Sam will join us. Our number, folks, is 346-3000, or it's a free call on the Verizon Wireless at star 1040. Give us a call, and we'll talk about the Rhinos and the Atlanta Silverbacks. When we come back, the Heineken Direct call-in show. All right, we are joined by the man. Soccer Sam joins us here. If you want to talk some soccer, the number is 346-3000, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless. Your final score tonight, Atlanta 2, Rochester 0. Sammy.
I'm sick. I'm just sick. I can't believe it. This crowd was electric tonight. They had bands playing. Balloons in the sky. Was so emotional at the beginning of the game. The girls were dancing. What do they call it? The rhinestones. Rex was into it. God, Joe came back after a 6-year absence. And we lost, and we played horrible. I'm sick.
They did have a tough game tonight. The Rhinos.
I'm sick.
Timmy, midfield didn't seem to be here tonight, and Coach made some substitutions right away. Lyons and Magnac coming off. A bit surprising to see the 2 creative midfielders come off the field.
I mean, I thought they were playing fine. I didn't think that was a problem. I just thought that some of the guys up top weren't just tracking back enough to come and reach the ball, come and meet the ball. I mean, but hey, Joe, it's one of those games where, unfortunately, maybe Kenny Burns is that important to us back there directing our team in front of him. It's possible, but I thought Chase on the first goal, possibly could have done something a little better. The second goal, it was a breakaway. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
But Joe, I'm concerned here. We're finally, the fans are starting to come out again. You just sense it.
Beautiful
tonight.
crowd tonight. 9,900 fans.
You felt the electricity tonight in the crowd.
You really did.
And then there was you doing the national broadcast, and the divorce rate went up 3% in America and 6% in Canada. I'm telling you, because coast to coast, I can't wait to see the replay of that on Fox Sports.
It was a great opportunity working with Steve Bell, and lucky for me, I'm going to have another shot next week when the Rhinos take on Carolina. So,
awesome. Congratulations,
thanks,
man. That's big.
I got to just say one quick thing. I got to give you a thanks. You started me in this whole thing.
What do you
mean? Really did.
The
Soccer Sam show, the Soccer Sam TV show. And I don't know what you did to Richard Groff to get me on the Empire Sports Network, but
Joe, you're natural, honestly.
Thanks to you. Thanks to you, Sam.
So you're so smooth and so calm, and I appreciate what you did in the pregame. You just roll without much effort. I'm looking through all these notes. I'm writing down stuff. It's tough. I can't be you. I could just be me, and I'm just not that good at what I do.
It's great to see those papers flying in the air and everything. So, Sam, the number here is 346-3000, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless. Soccer Sam's got a tummy ache after this Rhinos performance tonight. Let's go to the phones and speak with Kevin. Hello, Kevin. How are you? Kevin, are you there? Kevin is gone. The number again, 346-3000. And the final score tonight, 2-0. Antoniuk scoring. Antoniuk on the goal, Sam. He's the one who flicked it off of Bonsu, came back to him, and he just blasted it in. Very impressed with his play tonight.
Yeah, he's the real deal. I mean, Montreal let him go. I can't believe that. But I tell you, he's your true forward, and he makes it happen. No matter what team he's with, he makes things happen. And I thought they just outplayed us in the second half. I thought the first half we were controlling play. We just couldn't get in the box and make things happen. But once we got rid of our midfield, it just didn't click. I mean, it's hard enough to play without your captain back there, Kenny Burtz.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, you got Mignonger gone, and Aaron Lyons, who's been carrying the load in the midfield.
Absolutely.
And Burns, you could just see the confusion in the kid. One game he started and one game he's coming into the game. He didn't have that confidence. His passes were off earlier on. I mean, Josh Bolton comes in cold. It's hard to do that. It's at this level, you need your 11 guys. They play. You got occasional injury. You got occasional yellow card accumulation. But you go with your 11 guys. You make your occasional subs. But
in the midfield, I thought, especially in the second half, was just non-existent. There was no midfield rhythm or play tonight at all.
Yeah, Ray Boo Boo Martinez was a spark up top, but you're right. The midfield, I just didn't see it. I mean, Kramer came in. He lost the ball like 4 or 5 times earlier on. I thought John Ball had a nice game early with nice flicks, was working.
Yep.
I mean, John Ball's John Ball. Every game he's going to give you 100%.
Sure.
But unfortunately, I just didn't see any movement in the midfield. I mean, maybe they were just too concerned about helping in the back because of Burtz being out. I'm not sure.
Tough one for the Rhinos to take tonight. And former Rhino, I know you were pretty close with him when he was here, David Hayes. Usually he pushes up in the attack, gets involved, had the assist on the second goal, but had a good defensive game tonight for Atlanta.
I mean, David Hayes is a true player. When he was here in Rochester, I did a lot of appearances with him, schools and functions. I mean, the guy was a real true Rhino. He's part of our Rhino family for life. But I thought he played. He's one of my 3 top players tonight in tonight's game. I thought he was great.
Who's your 3 top players tonight?
And Antoniuk up top is the number 1.
Yep.
David Hayes number 2, and number 3. I know you don't agree with this, maybe, but I'm going to give it to Johnny Ball.
John Ball had a good first half and kind of got lost in the mix with the rest of the midfielders in the second half. I thought the young keeper from Atlanta, McIntosh, made some big saves for them tonight.
Yeah, he made a couple, but what about that Pelguda one that just hit the bar? I mean, that should have went in. Joe, you could just see it out there. I know we're not supposed to be negative, but there's not chemistry. There's not unity.
There's not.
See it.
And do you think this has something to do with it too, Sammy? They played the California Victory in a very ugly, non-flowing type of soccer game. They play the Western Massachusetts Pioneers. Same kind of game. You can't get any rhythm. It's very ugly soccer. Is that a factor tonight where they're kind of in that mode of playing against inferior teams? Now Atlanta comes in and they play good USL soccer? I don't know. I'm just looking for ideas and things to talk about here, I guess.
I mean, maybe they were overconfident because of Atlanta's record. I think, if you really analyze the season, the home games this year, the only exciting home game that we played very well was the Charleston game.
Yeah.
That was it, man, really. I mean, we saw.
And let's not forget, in that game, Sam, Charleston was down 1-0, then they tied. Then down 2-1, then they tied. Then down 3-2, they almost came back. So we really didn't put that away until late in the game when Ball and Martinez came in.
True, but Joe, that game, though, you just
saw exciting, yeah.
You saw the flow of the players.
Yeah.
Deli looked faster than usual. Johnny Mignonger was doing things I haven't seen him do in years. It just seemed different. And since that game, I haven't seen the same Rhino team out here, and I'm not sure why.
So the midfield, again, non-existent in the second half. That could be a factor. Folks, want to hear from you tonight. 346-3000, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got some trivia, and we've got tickets to give away to the pre-4th of July game.
I can't wait for that.
And Sam, we got to talk about your antics at halftime about the New England Revolution player.
Oh, Joe,
we got to talk about that because I was on TV almost on the floor laughing. All right, we'll come back. This is the Heineken Direct post-game show, also sponsored by Auction Direct.
Upfield, here come the Silverbacks. 3-on-1, back is Aloisi. Hayes lays into open territory. Moving in a breakaway opportunity. Moving in Quealy. He lost the ball. Now he rolls it in and he scores. Quealy puts it in blithely. Right leg of Harrison inside the left post. It's now 2-0 Atlanta.
Soccer fans, welcome back to the Heineken Direct call-in show, also sponsored by Auction Direct. I am Joe Giuliano with Soccer Sam, and Sam is very upset. He's got a very sour feeling to his stomach tonight. Rhinos falling 2-0 to Atlanta. Number is 346-3000. Let's go to the phones and speak with Mike from Rochester. Mike, good evening and welcome to the postgame show.
Hi. It's kind of a bad game tonight, just unfortunate results for the Rhinos fans.
It sure was, and I think midfield, the key component that was missing from this Rhinos team tonight, Mike.
Is Johnny Younger injured? Because he got off to a great start this season. Where he's just making spectacular plays, and past few games it seems like he's out there, but he's not really into the offense.
I don't think Johnny knows his role out there. It doesn't seem like the other midfielders and defenders are looking for him. He's the guy you got to give the ball to, distribute through him. But when he came out, he threw the water bottle, and he didn't seem real happy.
No. Oh, Lyons has been playing great lately. He didn't seem to have a good night either.
That's what I was just going to say. Younger may be a little confused because Lyons has kind of stepped into that playmaking, creative role.
Yes.
And that leaves Younger, like you said, what's my role now? Where am I? I'm a little confused on that. It's a great point, Sam.
I think he'd rather be a forward. That wasn't he mostly a forward in Minnesota?
Oh, yeah, with the Thunder, definitely played up top.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mike, anything else for tonight?
No, it's just sad that we were undefeated at home, and I was just hoping that we would, I like what Kenny said during the pregame show about, turning Paytech into the kind of fortress that Frontier once was for the Rhinos, where other teams, they come in and play and think, oh, damn, we got to go to Rochester, and where, you want them almost to fear coming into town, and we seem to be doing that, and then, tonight was a step backwards.
Well, a lot of young guys. It's a different Rhino team. And Mike, I know you love winning trivia, and I know you use those tickets for a great cause. And you just mentioned it and how now we lost at home. So we were undefeated at home up to this day. But let's talk about last year. Let's talk about 2006. If you could tell me in 2006 how many wins we had at home, I'm going to get you 4 tickets, Joe's personal tickets for Tuesday night.
Sure.
Against the Seattle Sounders, featuring former Rhino and indoor legend Greg Howes.
Okay.
How many wins at home in 2006, Mike? For 4 tickets, Mike,
okay,
for you.
I'm not sure about wins in ties, the combination, but so that would be out of 14 games. Oh.
Tonight, Mike.
I know.
Buddy.
I can't. I'll just say.
Say a number. Say your favorite number.
Okay. I think 8 wins.
Ooh. Sorry, Mike. Thank you, though.
No.
Nice try.
Thanks for the call, Mike. We appreciate your time tonight. And one quick comment. That pen has a light on it.
Yes.
Are you that old?
Well, it's just
it lights up when you write it. I love it.
I feel safe with it. Reinhold Spath gave me this. The referee that's in the Soccer Hall of Fame gave me 3 red cards once in one game.
The number is 346-3000. Soccer Sam definitely getting up there in years. He's got a pen that lights up so he can see what he's writing. The number is 346-3000. Let's go back to the phones and speak with Nigel. Hello, Nigel.
Yes. Hey, hi. Good evening, gentlemen. This is Nigel. I've called in a couple of years. I tell you, after this game and the last couple, I wouldn't say I'm giving up on this team, but I'm seeing a lot of things I don't like. Some of it, I really have to say, starts going back to the coaching. And, for me to say this against a fellow Englishman is very hard for me, but I got to be honest. They just do not look coached very well. Their finishing is horrible. And the lineups are getting goofier and goofier. To take out both Aaron Lyons and Younger, and right when we needed them, is just silly. Unless they were injured and there's something that's going on we don't know about. Just sad to see. Anyway, I'd like to see what you think about my comments. Thank you.
Well, Nigel, I agree with you. I said it during the broadcast tonight too. Unless Younger and Lyons are injured, those are your creative midfielders, and I think they stay on the pitch. We don't know, the inside scoop if they're hurt or not, but I was shocked to see those substitutions. And finishing, yeah, it's been an issue, but I don't think we've been creating enough quality chances, good, clean chances for those guys to get some looks on goal. That's my 2 cents. Sam agrees. He says yes. Nigel, anything else?
Yeah. If I could say, one other thing is the lineup. the coach is putting up seem a bit goofy. I would just like to say, I like the new kid, Bolton. I mean, he's a good player and so on. I think he's going to get better and better. But to have him come in sooner than Martinez is crazy. And I believe not this game, but last game, they had Bolton out. Bolton was starting. Then I think Martinez came in. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that to me just shows you poor coaching. And anyway, I don't know what you think about that. And I say Bolton's a local kid. He's a good player. And we should get behind him. But let's play who should be played first.
At this stage, though, I look at Burns, I look at Bolton, Sammy, and I see the same player. I think they're equal as far as talent is concerned, and Nigel makes a good point. If Bolton's the local kid, he's just as good as Burns. Maybe he gets the benefit of the doubt and gets the nod. That's an interesting point, Nigel.
Okay, that's really all I have to say, and thank you for having me on the show.
Nigel, you want to take a shot at the trivia tonight?
Oh, boy. Let me see. How many home games do they have now?
14 this season.
14 in 2006. How many wins did the Rhinos have at home in 06 for 4 tickets, Nigel, for Tuesday night?
Oh, boy. I'm ashamed of myself, but I'm going to guess 10.
10 is very high.
Don't say hi.
I shouldn't say hi. I'm sorry.
All right, Nigel, thanks for the call tonight. Call again, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot, gentlemen. Have a good night now.
Nigel, thank you very much. And I believe if it's the same Nigel from England, we actually went to college together.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think it's the same Nigel. If it is you, hello, and it's nice to speak with you again.
Yes, and
I should have asked you. I'm sorry.
I used to love Princess Diana. And the Spice Girls are on a comeback.
They are?
Nigel, yes, they're coming back on tour, Nigel.
Really? Now, let's talk about the halftime antics. We're talking about the Revolution game. And they have a great midfielder named Steve Ralston.
Yes, Steve Ralston, who also played for Tampa Bay year one of the Rhinos when we beat him in '96. I used to call him Steve Ralston Purina.
Okay, but then I was sitting down, and I was looking around. I heard somebody barking.
Well, Don, Don had me on, and Don's like as straight as they come, so I over-exaggerate my craziness when I'm with him.
No, you?
I just like to, kind of like get him riled up a little bit, because Don's like, oh, Sam, I'm barking at him. He looked at me like, what the heck is wrong with you?
Oh, it was beautiful. It made my night tonight. Even though the Rhinos lost, Sammy was barking like a dog. It was great. The number is 346-3000. Let's go to the phones, and let's welcome Bill to the show. Good evening, Bill.
Hey, how you guys doing? It was a great night for soccer. I mean, you can't ask for a better night, and I like the way the crowd was, and didn't like the result. I don't know, right at the end, before they scored the second goal, it almost seemed like they were kind of outsmarting themselves a little bit, why they didn't just take that corner kick and put it in the box. Everybody expected to go in the box because all the defense was up. Then they try to do something really cute. I think we're trying to do cute things all night. Instead of going hard, pushing the ball up, making things happen, and they just need to do a little bit of that more. Just push the doggone ball up and see what happens. And they just didn't do it. And that's the thing that I think really bummed out a lot of the fans, is that they just didn't seem to want it. And that's the type of things we can't have here. We can't have players who don't want it and who don't want to push, who don't want to push hard 100% of the time. And if they're not going to do that, then they shouldn't be here. And I don't know. I tend to like Kay Burns. I like him. So I don't think Josh Bolton adds much to it. He kind of just runs around the same speed the whole time he's out there. And he needs to get aggressive and make some runs and do some different things. And I think he can be a good player. But we got to have some people with some heart. There doesn't seem to be any fire out there. The days of Scotty Schweitzer. Scotty Schweitzer would have been all over these kids. And we need to have somebody like that.
Billy, make a great point. I was baffled by the fact that they took a short corner kick in stoppage time when you've got numbers into the box, and that's what led to that counterattack goal. That was just an awful decision. Not sure if it comes from the coaching staff or from the players in the field, but that was a terrible choice.
Yeah, and it just surprised everybody. It surprised Atlanta, and it surprised mostly us. And that's why they scored. I mean, it just was just a poor decision at that time and stoppage time. He put that ball in the box. you see who's hungry to go after it. And that's what we just weren't doing. But other than that, I think it was nice to see a better crowd. I thought, like Sammy said, the crowd was into it. We just, we need a little fire. Somebody's got to light some fire under some guys' butts a little bit, So.
Yeah, some leadership out there. I thought the production tonight was fantastic, from the scoreboard to everything around the stadium. It felt like an old school Frontier-style Rhino game, and I'm feeling really good about that. But, Bill, hey, let's look on to Tuesday night. Seattle comes into town. We have to win these games now. It's a big weekend here in this league. I mean, tomorrow night, Vancouver is at Charleston. Then Sunday, California goes to Montreal. We need to, win these big games. And Tuesday, Seattle comes here. We got to do our thing. A chance for you, Bill, to win 4 tickets to Tuesday night.
Oh, yeah.
How many wins at home did the Rhinos have last year? You get 4 tickets, and I'm going to throw in one of Joe's brand new ties, maybe.
Oh, I have no interest in ties, but
how do you think, Bill?
And I tell you, I got a lot of family coming into town, and we're all going to try to go to the game, so I need the tickets. I'm going to guess. Now, this is total home wins for the season, right?
Yes.
Okay, total home wins for the season. I would say 6.
6 is wrong, Bill. But Bill, thank you so much for calling.
Hey, man, it's always good to talk to you guys. Keep up the good work, and talk to the boys, get them fired up, man.
I'll see what I can do. Thank you so much. Let's go to Mark in his car. Mark, are you still in your car? All right, Mark lost his car. Let's go to George from Fairport, New York. George, what do you got, my man?
I want to guess for the trivia, and I want to say 6.
You want to say 6? No, sorry, buddy.
Can I answer a couple comments?
Okay, go ahead. It's your show, man. This is the fan show.
I just
Let
want
loose.
to say I love Callaway as a person, but after these 3 years, we've given him a long time. He's a great guy, but this inconsistency is killing me. And killing the buzz in Rochester about the Rhinos. If once the Reds come to town, it's going to be a slaughter fest for them. They're going to rip us apart if we don't get our act together. Chase Harrison has been playing well, but it seems that being young, he doesn't know how to organize the defense as well as Scott Vallow. And yeah, let's hope that we also stop losing at home. This is killing us. Rochester, I would love to say this is soccer town, but Rochester and all its history has always been, if you stink, no one will come and see you. And losing 2-0 at home in soccer is terrible. It is unacceptable. And we are the Rhinos. We've always been number 1. We will always be number 1. And if we can't, I would rather be last in MLS than in the middle of the USL.
Now, George, were you part of the Stampede tonight with all the red shirts on? People from
and I was having a blast with them, man. Our numbers are getting up. We had to struggle in the beginning to get the numbers up, but we are back in power, baby. And we were definitely screaming and yelling tonight. We were loudest indeed.
Well, I want to tell some of our listeners that the reason you guys were wearing red was tribute to the Fairport High School, the tragedy there.
Yes.
Because a couple people asked me why you guys...
Actually, I'm from Fairport, and I knew every single one of those girls.
That's awesome. That's awful.
Sad, but yeah, we weren't doing it for the group at all. It was for them. It was a Rochester Rhino community coming together,
right.
And all of Rochester coming together.
You guys were awesome tonight. It looked great, and then keep up the support and just hang in there, man. Every team loses occasionally. We're just a little flat right now. I have confidence that Coach Callaway will turn around. Thanks for the call, George.
Thank you.
All right, George, thanks for the call. The number is 346-3000, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless. Give us a call. This is the Heineken Direct Call-In Show, also sponsored by Auction Direct. Joe Giuliano with Soccer Sam. Let's go back to the phones and speak with Winston.
Hello?
Hello, Winston. How are you?
Hi, this is Winston. I'm from Brighton. I've got my friend Neville here with me. We've taken our first Rhinos game tonight. And I'd like to take a guess at your trivia. I heard George. I heard the other callers. I would like to guess 6.
6 is wrong.
Oh, no.
Yes. What did you think of
Well,
tonight's
that's
game?
bloody well stinks.
So your first Rhinos game tonight, Winston, what did you think?
Well, I was sitting over in 132. I felt really out of place. I did not have a red shirt on, and some bloke threw me a red shirt, but it was used, and it smelled like body odor.
Huh. Those blokes, I tell you, what are you going to do with them?
Winston, it's got to be awful when your parents name you after the cigarettes they smoke.
I'm sitting here with my brother Neville. Imagine how he feels with the name Neville. Neville.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you so much for calling.
All right.
All right, Winston. Have a cigarette for us tonight, okay? Numbers 346-3000. Joan out in Webster listening to the post-game show. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. I enjoyed the game tonight. I was a little disappointed in the loss. But I have a guess on the trivia question.
Sure, go ahead.
I would say 9. 9 games.
Good guess, but not correct.
Not correct?
Not correct.
Oh, down.
Joan, good try. We appreciate the effort, though. Effort is very important in this world.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you for the call tonight, Joan. And hey, if we keep the trivia out there, you can call back and give it another shot.
Yeah.
Numbers 346-3000. The final score tonight: Atlanta 2, Rochester nothing. I know it hurts, Sammy. And I'm sorry, but this is how it goes, my friend.
I don't like when our team loses. I don't mind when they lose when there's 1,000 or a couple thousand people here. When you got a packed house here, they announced like 9,000 something. I think there's like 12,000 people here. Again, they get the numbers wrong all the time here.
You sure you don't get the numbers wrong?
No, there was 12,000 people there, and the crowd was into it, and we didn't give them what they came here for. Those casual fans want to see goals, they want to see excitement. I mean, we saw the Ray when he went up the flank, the crowd erupted. When he got taken down, the ref didn't call it. I mean, yeah, Ray didn't even touch him where he fell, but still, the crowd erupted. They were right there. They still erupted, even though the guy didn't touch him.
Let's go back to the phones, and let's talk to JC this evening. Hello, JC.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing, man?
Doing all right. Kind of disappointed in the loss, but a couple things. I just want to take a quick guess at the trivia. I'm going to say 10.
Not correct.
Okay. And just real quick, I am a member of the Stampede, and also I wanted to call and just thank everyone for the support that they gave us. There's a lot of members in our group that either graduated from Fairport this year, will in a couple of years, or did last year, such as George. And I just wanted to thank everyone for the support, because we were accepting donations in honor of the girls. The school is going to be setting up scholarships in their names, and we got a lot of money donated for that cause. Not too sure how much yet, but that number will be figured out probably tomorrow. But anyways, I just wanted to thank everyone for all the donations that they gave us, and for anyone that didn't donate, the rhinestones. I'm not sure if we are going to be on Tuesday, but I know for sure the rhinestones will be taken. We'll be accepting donations as well on Tuesday for the same exact cause and everything. So, but other than that, I just want to say keep up the good work. There's a really good crowd tonight. Hopefully we can get the same next Friday. Probably going to be kind of low on Tuesday with it being close to 4th of July. Everyone's probably got barbecues and stuff going on. But next Friday, I hope it's huge for when our new rival comes to town. Can't wait to see it Josie in again.
That's going to be big next week. Tuesday, Friday, and then the following Tuesday, U.S. Open Cup. Thank you so much for calling, JC.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for the call, JC, tonight. Number is 346-3000. Star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless. You can give us a call. We'll talk some Rhino soccer. And, Sammy, what a stretch of games they have coming up. Seattle, Greg Howes, the former member of the Rhinos there. And then you got Carolina.
I can't wait for this.
It's just unbelievable, the emotion. And then after that, you've got the Revolution. The emotion that this team is going to be thrown at them. Are they going to be able to overcome all this?
They got a little break here. I mean, Tuesdays is, 4 days away, 5 days away, right? So they got some time. They got Saturday, Sunday, Monday to totally rest and all day Tuesday. So I think they should be ready for Tuesday night. And then, another little break there, 3-day break before the Friday night game. So, but yeah, I can't wait to Friday, man. I've been waiting for this since they announced this Railhawk team. Chris Economides coming back, Scotty Schweitzer, and Dozian, who was one of my favorites last year, coming back, and Frankie Sanfilippo, another one of my favorites, coming back, and Johnny Steele. Basically, the man, Johnny Steele, I was there in the negotiations. Johnny Steele helped Coach Callaway seal the deal. I mean, Chris Economides was undecided about 3 coaches, and Johnny Steele was at a dinner with us with his indoor coach, Zoran Savic, and Johnny Steele said to Chris, he's the greatest coach I've ever had. He's the greatest man I've ever had. And Chris says, when I get back, I'm signing Callaway as our coach. And those guys are coming back, man. It's like one big family, but now they're going to be our enemies for that night. But I can't wait for after the game, after we beat them 4-5 to nothing, to go down there and say hello to those guys.
It's going to be an interesting match. Rivals on the field and friends off the field, hopefully, next week when Carolina comes to Rochester. The number again is 346-3000. We'll take one more call before break, and that is going to be Deanna. Hello, Deanna. Deanna, are you there? Going once, twice. Deanna is gone. Shirley, you're taking Deanna's spot. How you doing, Shirley?
Oh, great. I just had
What'd you think?
Observation about the contest you've got going on. So far, 3 people have called in and said 6. Are they not listening? Just, curious.
Yeah, that's a good point. But
my guess is a little more conservative. I'm going to guess 4.
No, not correct.
All
good
right.
Try, though. Thanks for the call, Shirley, and it's a good poke at the Trivia Soccer Sam.
Yeah.
The stumper.
Well, I mean, I hope the information is right, but in 2006, out of 14 home games, how many games did the Rhinos win?
14.
No.
Okay.
No. Nice
the
try,
number
though.
is 346-3000. We're going to take a break. Soccer Sam's going to relax and get himself back together. The Rhinos took a tough one tonight, 2-0, losing to Atlanta. This is the Heineken Direct Call-In Show, also sponsored by Auction Direct.
Rochester Rattlers Lacrosse back in action on Saturday, July 14th at 7:35 against the Long Island Lizards. Come see John Grant, Brody Merrill, Casey Powell, and the rest of your Rattlers as they continue their quest for the MLL Championship. This game is presented by Nothnagel. That's Saturday, July 14th against the Long Island Lizards. Tickets are available at the Paytech Park box office, Ticketmaster.com, or call 232-1900 to charge by phone. Rochester Rattlers, lacrosse with a bite.
Welcome back to the Heineken Direct Call-In Show. Number is 346-3000. Joe Giuliano, Soccer Sam. We're going right back to the phones. And Frank from Gates is next on the postgame show.
Yes. Hello, Sam.
Frank, my friend, how are you? Go ahead.
Oh, I could cry. No, don't cut me off again. Listen, remember last year when we lost the championship game and our coach said, well, this is only the second. What do you guys expect? This is only the second year. No, the third year, we are losing. How long are we going to keep the coach? We're not only losing games, the players playing lousy, but we're losing all the fans. I am buying season tickets on day one. That's 11 years. 5 tickets, and this is the last year if we keep this coach. I am going with the rest of the people. I cannot see anymore all the suffering what they're doing, the players on the field. They're playing like little kids. There's no set, nothing for goal. They're supposed to go and play to win. Not passing the ball back and forth, just like a little babies. I was coaching 10 years as a kid in Gates. I never see anything like this.
Okay, Frank, we didn't cut you off, and we're going to kind of chime in.
And I appreciate it, and I that's the only things I want to say.
Well, I appreciate your call.
Instead of our team getting better, it's getting worse. It was better enough against Victoria in the California team.
Yeah.
And what we did last year, luckily we won against the second division team. Today is the top of everything. They don't have anything, any
willpower to win.
That's
now,
great.
I
Thank
don't
you.
know if it's a team or a coach, but I think that's a coach. Because if I would be in his place, I just tell the guys, if you guys don't want to play, get out, go find someplace else.
All right, Frank, we appreciate the call. We didn't cut you off. You got your point in. And normally, Sammy, I think Frank is a little extreme and to the other side. But tonight, I'm going to kind of side with him. It was a poor performance by the team tonight. And I agree with him.
Well, I just hope that Frank and the rest of the fans understand that, your team, no matter what sport you follow, can't always win. They can't always have a great game or a great season. And overall, we've had a good season. We're in second place. Tonight was a bad game. The other night was a little disappointing. We won it, but you got to stick with your team. You got to just hang in there for your team.
You're not going to jump off the boat and say, okay, forget this thing. But, tonight, you got to call it like you see it. It wasn't a good game by the team. Where the team is still in second place. I really think playing California and Western Mass, it just gets you in a funk. And you got to overcome that lousy soccer that you've seen play the last two games. I think it's going to take another tonight. The rhythm will come back, and they'll come back with a great performance against Seattle, hopefully.
Well, my only thing I'd like to see, and I've said this for years and years, is that I think I followed European soccer as a kid, and I followed NASL soccer growing up, and I think you need to get your 11 starters, and it's almost automatic. You know who's coming off the bench if somebody in the defense gets hurt. If there's someone in the midfield gets hurt, you know who's coming off the bench. You need to get to that point because I think a lot of these players just aren't playing with that excessive confidence that you need to play an intelligent man's game, which is soccer.
Oh, absolutely.
Your mind has to be clear. This isn't like football.
There's two things, though, Sam. There's two things. The schedule doesn't allow for 11 players to consistently play if you play Friday, Saturday.
Good point.
They're hit by injuries, too.
Yes.
And suspension. So, the consistency has definitely been affected. And we got, is Chris still on the line, Nick? Chris, last caller of the night. Welcome to the postgame show.
Oh, I'm the last one. All right. That I can't lose, right?
We'll see.
How you guys doing?
What's going on?
Hats off to Soccer Sam. I missed the game tonight, but I caught as much of it on the radio as I could. I'm at work, and I really missed the game. But I did hear most of it, and I'm very disappointed. In reference to the last caller,
Chris, you got to be quick, though. We don't have a lot of time.
We had a little dynasty there for, 9-10 years. So it's not the same thing the last couple years. I want to say hi to Soccer Sam. I think you gave away the answer with the first caller, the English guy. You told him the lucky number, 7. It's got to be 7, right?
You are the winner. We're going to put you on hold. We're going to get your information. Thank you so much for calling, Joey. I'll see you Tuesday night. I'm out, baby.
All right, Soccer Sam, thank you very much. For Don Stevens, Soccer Sam, our producer Nick Busco, I'm Joe Giuliano saying ciao for now. We'll talk to you on Tuesday night, the Rhinos and the Sounders. Joe Giuliano, ciao for now.
Salvatore's Pizza. We deliver everything but babies, including Salvatore's Italian subs, made with fresh-baked Italian sub bread with the finest meats, cheeses, cold cuts, and veggies available. And we put Hellman's mayonnaise, because when you bring out the Hellman's, you bring out the best. Salvatore's 234-5555 or order online 234-5555.com. 234-5555.